In the midst of the preseason, it's always fun to see some early standout performances, and right now the Seattle Kraken are enjoying one of those performances in a young player hoping to earn himself some playing time, Yanni Newman. He made his NHL debut last season, and he has been a big factor in this preseason thus far. So much so that at 4, he is tied for the most goals scored so far this preseason. He has scored in 3 of the 4 Kraken games already played. This coming after being called up to the NHL back in March of last season. He finished his short stay with 3 goals and 3 assists tallied in just 12 games played. And at 21 years old, the Finnish forward is certainly making his case to be a contributing factor on the Kraken's roster this season. I'm Dustin Fiocco, and this has been Around the League.
After beating colon cancer, I'm turning setbacks into comebacks. I am Henry.
I'm pain-free and at full strength after spine surgery. I am Henry.
A life-saving delivery ensured my shift could continue. I am Henry.
When you need care to get you back on your game, trust the only care team chosen as the official team physicians for the Detroit Red Wings. Henry Ford Health. We are Henry.
Hey, it's Ken Cal, voice of the Red Wings. There's a homegrown squad that's been around even longer than the Wings. Rose Pest Solutions turned pro over 160 years ago and has dominated pests ever since. Rose safeguards your home or business against pests like bedbugs, cockroaches, rodents, and spiders. Their technicians are also equipped to meet all safety regulations. That's why Rose is an official partner of the Detroit Red Wings. Pest problem? Rose is the solution. Call Rose at 800-966-ROSE or go to rosepestsolutions.com.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Need coffee that slaps or munchies that pop? Sheetz has your back and your snacks. Think of us as your neighborhood hangout spot that comes with its own parking, where you can turn your pickup's tailgate into a lunch table, chat up your neighbor at checkout, or just roll in wearing PJs. We've been serving fresh, made-to-order stuff since forever, and you're always invited. We're family-owned, community-loved, and delightfully not your average gas station. Ha, not even close. Get ready, Michigan. Why the Sheetz not?
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease. We battle cancer. We come together. We come back. We push forward. When the body breaks, we break through. Corewell Health. We can.
From the rink.
I'm here with Red Wing defenseman Mo Seider. Hard to believe, Mo, it's your 5th season with the Detroit Red Wings. Time really flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great on one side and also a little sad on the other side. It feels like just yesterday when you walked into LCA for the first time, but overall great progress and excited for another year.
Do you actually feel like you're a veteran now?
No, to be honest. I feel like just like another guy who's just like really enjoying life, doing the best he can to help the team win, and that's what I'm most excited and most curious about, I would say.
Well, I know players work hard during training camp, but for you coming in now for the 5th time, does it get a little bit easier and you know the rules of the road?
It's not easier, but you are adjusted way more, so I think you just know what's coming and you maybe that feels easier. I think you kind of use the time more wisely up with the guys. I mean, first couple of years you're just exhausted after practice, so you lay down and sleep all day and like just go out to dinner and call it a day. And now like you just try to make the most out of it. It's like everyone is on top of each other up in TC, and you kind of want to make the most out of it.
Yeah, what was it like, the players bonding? Was it a good experience up in Traverse City?
Yeah, it's usually the best time of the year anyways, for us at least. We had great weather. The guys went fishing, other went golfing, just had great conversations, great dinners, and I thought off the ice it was a really helpful time as well.
Anybody catch the big salmon out there?
Definitely not me. I stay off the water, like to be grounded. Other than that, no. I think the boys had actually some really good catches though.
All right, sounds good. What about this season coming up for the Detroit Red Wings? What are the expectations?
Yeah, I think we just want to get off to a good start with Todd. Having him around now for full training camp and preseason, I think you can see a lot of helpful things already. It's just about having a good start, getting a lot of the points early on, especially against divisional opponents, will be huge. And then obviously you always want to be in the playoff race to hopefully make it this year.
Well, what type of goals do you set for yourself?
I mean, I want to be a playoff team. That's all I really care about. All I care is we finally get in there, and we hopefully make a push for it, and then if we achieve that, I think it will be a very successful season for me.
Well, Sider, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Tonight's Keys to the Game.
Little Caesars Arena in the District Detroit, the site of tonight's hockey game, second meeting in the preseason against the Pittsburgh Penguins, along with Paul Woods, who's back in the saddle again. I'm Ken Cal. Red Wings 2-2-0. They dropped a pair of games on the road to Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Return to home ice here tonight. The Penguins, they're 2-1-1, 5 points in the preseason.
Been a bit surprising that Pittsburgh signed really not a strong lineup. And again, General Manager Kyle Dubas in the midst of a teardown right now. So we'll see how that goes. He's still got some big name players on that roster. They're not playing tonight. The Wings do have some good younger players. 7 of those guys in the lineup tonight, trying to prove to the general manager, the coaching staff, they can start the season for the Red Wings. 4 games left on the Red Wings schedule.
Paul, 4 games in the books for the Red Wings here in the preseason. Any players stand out in your eyes?
Yeah, I like Brandstad Nygaard. I thought Michael Brandstad Nygaard was good. In fact, all those young guys. Danielson, I thought, really good as well. Sandin Pelika was good back on the blue line. But again, just some different guys playing well. Emmett Finney, he's been good. John Saunders has got 3 points, 2 goals, leads the team in scoring. Had 36 goals last year in the American League. He's not a prospect. He's 26 years of age, but they had some good players. And William Wallinder, I just seen him play once, but he has 2 assists going up forward. And Carter Mazur, who again was injured last year during the regular season, 1 goal so far of the season. But all those guys, all 7 of those guys, still have an outside chance to make the opening day roster.
John Gibson will get his second start in goal. He played in Pittsburgh, allowed 1 goal on, I believe it was 20-some shots on goal in that hockey game, allowed just the 1 goal. But he's going to play the whole game tonight, and we'll see John Gibson here on home ice.
Well, the Wings have their goaltending situation. It's solid this year. We know the 2 goaltenders are going to be. It's Cam Talbot, who I thought was quietly good last year, especially the first half of the season. And now John Gibson. Gibson's a big netminder, so goaltending will not be a problem. And I think if you look at goaltending tandems throughout the National Hockey, the 32 teams, I would say the Wings are in the top 12.
Well, you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, there's no Crosby, there's no Malkin, no Rust here tonight, but certainly some veterans in the lineup and also a lot of young players that they're going to take a look at.
Oh, I tell you what, that Kyle Dubas has got a job on his hands. But one thing he's doing is accruing salary cap space right now. He's got lots of cap space. He can make deals, but there's all kinds of rumors around about Brian Rust, Ricard Raquel, they're on the top line with Sidney Crosby. Even rumors about Crosby, that won't go away. Maybe the Montreal Canadiens, and now because of the Barkov injury, maybe the Florida Panthers. Bill Zito, the GM of Florida, he's got cap space to play with. That's a dangerous man when he gets in that situation. Chris Letang back on the blue line. He's got 2 years left on his contract. And then you got your Jenny Malkin. He's got an expiring contract. And a lot of teams, a lot of people talking about him maybe getting moved at the trade deadline. So lots could be happening with this Pittsburgh Penguins, but I think they're a long shot, a real long shot to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference because of those reasons.
Well, we mentioned John Gibson starting in goal for the Red Wings. Tristan Jarry, who really didn't have a sensational season last year. In fact, it was so bad they sent him to the American League. And then he actually started playing better. They brought him up late in the season where he won 8 out of 11 hockey games towards the end and played a lot better. But this is a big year for him as well.
Kyle Dubas, the former general manager of the Maple Leafs and, of course, the Sioux Greyhounds. But, again, that was a strange situation. And Alex Nedeljkovic, the former Red Wing, he was a backup goaltender in Pittsburgh last year. At times, he was number 1 guy when Jerry was struggling. Then they got rid of Nedeljkovic. He's no longer there. He's in San Jose. And now you got Tristan Jarry, but it's make it and break it right now for Tristan Jarry. He's got 2 more years on a pretty good-sized contract, so they got to get him back on track. That's one of the keys. But, again, I just don't think they can make it in the Eastern Conference. So many teams in the Eastern Conference got better in the offseason.
All right, Paul, the keys to tonight's hockey game, the Red Wings taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. What would they be tonight?
Well, the veteran guys just want to get your timing back and play a strong hockey game. They'll probably play 1 more game before the regular season starts on October 9th. But again, for those young players, send a message. Leave a message with the coaching staff. You're very close to playing. You want to be on this team. Very important for those 7 guys.
All right, the injury report is brought to you by McLaren Health, doing what's best. Shai Bouillon, he has an undisclosed injury, and I know, Paul, you were looking at Shai Bouillon, and you thought he'd made some major steps as well.
Yeah, he got better as that game moved along as well, and he made some good plays in the offensive zone. He's got size like Wallinder, he's got reach, and the Red Wings have lots of guys in their minor system that fit that same description. Big, tall, good defensemen. Those guys are hard and difficult to play against, but yeah, they all put on a good show. But again, I want to get back to John Saunders again. Just that
John Leonard, my mistake.
And just a Pittsburgh guy that scored 36 goals last year in the American League. No one talks about him much, but yet I thought he was really good in the hockey game. He's back out there again, and to lead his team in scoring after 4 games is quite an accomplishment for a 26-year-old forward.
2 more injuries to report of Simon Edvinsson. Although he is skating with the team, he's going to be sidelined, probably be back for the regular season opener against the Montreal Canadiens. Got a lower body injury. Nate Danielson is the coach, Todd McClellan, was talking about upper body injury, and he's going to miss a couple of games here in the preseason, and we'll see what happens to him. Whether he makes the team or not, that's undecided right now.
Well, the Wings are solid back in the blue line with Sherratt and Siders, the number 1 pair, and if Simon Edvinsson comes back, as he will, with Albert Johansson, number 2 pair, and then got Eric Gustafsson, Justin Hall, got Travis Hamonic, he's a left-hand shot as well as Hall. He's got 900 games in the National Hockey, and then you got Jacob Bedard-Docker, the former first-round pick of the Ottawa Senators. Those are 8 legitimate good NHL defensemen for the Wings. Very deep and good back line at the blue line.
Well, the Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins are doing battle here in Hockeytown. The Red Wings will take on the Chicago Blackhawks in Chicago. No radio or television for that hockey game tomorrow at the United Center. And then the Red Wings finish, and I would imagine we'll see their starting lineup really in one of those games against the Maple Leafs coming up in Toronto on Thursday, or either home here on Saturday against those same Maple Leafs.
And the Maple Leafs led the Atlantic Division last year, first overall, and actually had the Florida Panthers down in the opening round of the playoffs, the second round of the playoffs. With the goaltender Anthony Stolarz, who just had signed a long-term extension, was injured, but I've got the Toronto Maple Leafs again finishing up very high again this season in the Atlantic Division.
Well, both teams have made their appearance out onto the ice surface. Referee and linesman standing at the Hockeytown logo, the 100th Centennial logo at center ice, and we've got the Red Wings on the blue line and the Pittsburgh Penguins on the blue line as well. Red carpet has been rolled out, the end to our left. National anthem coming up, and then the start of this hockey game. We'll be back with tonight's opening face-off after these words on the Detroit Red Wings Radio Network.
Toyota gives you the power of choice. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on a stylish new 25 Corolla, or 5.75 on Corolla Hybrid. Excludes Corolla Cross and GR Corolla. Or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $199 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The weather's about to take a turn for the worse. So turn to Wallside for this never-before offer. Half off every Wallside window plus 81 months no interest, or an extra 18% off for cash. Get your new windows fast before the weather turns and save like never before. Half off every window plus 81 months no interest, or an extra 18% off for cash. Call 1-800-521-7800 or go to wallside.com.
After beating colon cancer, I'm turning setbacks into comebacks. I am Henry.
I'm pain-free and at full strength after spine surgery. I am Henry.
A life-saving delivery ensured my shift could continue. I am Henry.
When you need care to get you back on your game, trust the only care team chosen as the official team physicians for the Detroit Red Wings. Henry Ford Health. We are Henry.
Face-off is just moments away as we pause for station identification on the Detroit Red Wings Radio Network.
The biggest plays on the ice.
He's up ahead, Pacioretty to the net, backhand score! What a move!
We're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ride glove, bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Tina Shields, tonight's vocalist with the Star Spangled Banner prior to the start of tonight's hockey game. Second of two meetings on the season here in the preseason. The Red Wings 2-2-0, 4 points in the preseason. Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1-5, and they have 5 points, and they defeated the Red Wings Friday 5-2. Let's take a look at those starting lineups. They're brought to you by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Just call us today for a free estimate.
It will be the veteran, the goaltender Tristan Jerry, 152 wins. His very good NHL career in the goal for Pittsburgh. Jack St. Ivany, Ryan Graves back in the blue line up front. The top line tonight anyways, Tommy Novak, Philip Hollander, and Philip Tomasino.
John Gibson gets the call and goal for the Red Wings. He is stationed right at the top of the circle, ready to go. In goal for the Red Wings tonight. Some size on the blue line to start this game. William Wallinder and Morris Sider. And up front, JT Comfer between Jonathan Berggren and Carter Bear. Puck is dropped. They're underway here. Preseason game number 5 for the Red Wings. Wings shoot it in. Tristan Jarry lifts it up the left wing boards. And it's cleared out the center by the Pens. Wallinder backpedals into his own zone. Tapped it up the left wing. Carter Bear, too, deflected into the zone. Hollander lifts it out to center ice, and the Red Wings regroup there. William Wallinder to Bear, and you fire that puck from center behind the goal. Jarry turned it over to Casper, who was off the bench on a chain, slides it out in front, comes back to the blue line. Here's Hall with a shot, blocked right out in front by Hollander, and now it's lifted out to center ice, and the Red Wings regroup. No score in the hockey game. DeBrincat lays it ahead. Gustafson over the line, cuts inside, lost the handle of the puck. Dumba took it away. Veteran defenseman lifts it up into the air and plays it up across the Pittsburgh blue line. They're way offside, but now on the attack skates Casper.
I think the injured Eric Gustafson late last year as well hurt the Red Wings, and they missed the playoffs, 5 points behind the Montreal Canadiens, who qualified for that final playoff spot in the East.
He comes out to center ice in front of the penalty box, and Gustafson will work it across. 2 minutes gone by in the opening period, no score. Here's Ryan Shea picking it up, laying it across the ice to Dumba. Floats it out to center. It's chopped now by Hayes to the Detroit blue line. Wing sweep it out to center. And now lifted by Ian Mitchell, who's been pretty steady on the blue line here in the preseason. He takes it up across the Pittsburgh line and rolls it into the corner. In behind the goal, it's tapped around the boards by Patilla. Out the center ice it comes, and Carter Mazur picking it up for Detroit. Had it chopped away by Heinen. The former Bruin got it back in behind the Red Wing goal, now chopped into the corner. Wings trying to get it out. Franzig Nygaard lost the handle of the puck for a moment. It's stolen. Left circle. Poulin moved it out in front of the Red Wing goal. Skips into the corner for Robbie Fabry. Finds Heinen with a shot. That's blocked. In the high slot, slowing it down, Carter Mazur. Rink-wide feed over in the left wing for Mitchell. Drops it back for the trailer. Sandine Pellica for Detroit. Hands it off as the Red Wings and Penguins change on the go. No score in the opening period. 17:50 to go. Jarry swept it around the boards. Drives in deep for Detroit. Penguins sweep it out to center ice. Mo Sider wrapped it off the boards down into the corner. Jarry out of his net sets it up in behind his own goal. Now lifted by Kopanen back across the line in the Detroit end. Mo Sider looks over his right shoulder, plays it around the boards. Dominic Shine got it out to center. Reaching for it up across the line is Leonard. And now falling down dries. Leonard drops it to the trailer. Sider with a shot. Jarry the save. The rebound skips to the front of the goal. And the Red Wings had an opportunity there on the rebound. Jarry with the save.
More good work again by Leonard in the offensive zone. The bouncing puck got it right away from him a little bit. He got it to back. His wise decision. Got it back to a defenseman. Sider let it to go, and he forced Tristan Jarry to make his best save so far here in the opening period.
There's John Leonard. You were talking about him in the pregame show making things happen.
That puck just seems to follow him when he's around on that ice out there. But again, 36 goals last year in the American Hockey League. Another big face-off coming up to the left of Jarry. That'll be JT Comfort taking the draw.
Friday night, Leonard had both goals for the Red Wings in that contest. Wings power play's been pretty good so far in the preseason. Penalty kill hasn't really been that good. The Wings have allowed at least one power play goal in each of the 4 games so far.
And again, they've got to correct that right away. That was the worst power play last year in the entire National Hockey League out of 32 teams. So if that power play gets better, definitely it helps improve their chance of making the playoffs.
Hollander up across the Detroit Red Wing line. That play is whistled down offside, so we've got a whistle and a face-off coming up out at center ice. 2 minutes, 52 seconds gone by. Glad to have you along for the ride. Busy week for the Red Wings, Paul. They take on the Blackhawks tomorrow in Chicago, and then Thursday in Toronto against the Leafs, and the final preseason game will be here Saturday night against the same Leaf team.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough finish for the Red Wings. 2 games against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, they're now probably the best team in the Atlantic Division on paper, the Maple Leafs. But not much between deciding between all these teams in National Hockey. It's very, very close right now. You can definitely move up and down the standings. And a lot of teams have their eyes on the playoffs again this season.
When you look at the 3 teams, Paul, you look at Toronto, Florida, and Tampa Bay. Shot from the blue line, taken by Wallinder. Gloved off by Jari. And when you look at those 3 teams, Tampa Bay, Florida, Toronto, do you see any of those teams falling a little bit in the division?
Well, definitely Florida Panthers going to go back. Alexander Barkov's their best player. Won the Selke Trophy again last year as the best two-way center ice, but it's two-way forward in the NHL. So they're going to miss him. They got him and Kachuk out at least till January. So that's a big loss right now for Bill Zito and the Florida Panthers. Tampa Bay's actually got more offensive-minded on the 4th line. They got Yanni Gorda back. He played with them before. Nick Paul's injured right there now. I think Tampa Bay sort of stays where they are right now. And Toronto, I'm not quite sure. We've got to wait to see what happens to Mitch Marner and the effect of the Maple Leafs playing without him for the course of the season.
You were saying, and we were talking before the game about Tampa Bay. They've got a little more depth on that 4th line right now.
And that's what teams are going for, too. Just not having a couple of offensive linemen, just strictly defensive players. Guys can generate offense, so they're well coached, too, under John DeCooper. So they got beat out in the opening round of the playoffs against the Panthers. That's Tampa Bay.
Now here's a shot, and they score as Shea got it right out in front of the goal. And driving in right out in front was Ben Kindle, and he scores the goal to make it 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, just good to play that time by Shea, as you described, and just got a little split to defense that time, and Kimball picked it up and walked in and let it to go and beat John Gibson just past his glove on the left-hand side. And just like that, Pittsburgh takes a 1-0 lead.
3 minutes and 40 seconds into the hockey game, Kindle. And Shea was the guy that brought it out of his own zone and charged over the Detroit blue line to sweep it out in front. And Kindle buried it, beating John Gibson.
Shea's been with the Penguins now for a couple of seasons, played 70 games last year. Gonna feel good for Ben Kindle, played last year, junior hockey in Western Canada.
Well, the Penguins take the 1-0 lead. They score in their first shot of the hockey game. And now bringing it out to center ice, Alexiev, the big, strong defenseman for Pittsburgh. Mo Sider turns it over to the near side of the ice for Wallinder. Wallinder got it over the blue line. Branson Nygaard was offside, and we've got a whistle on the faceoff coming up out at center ice.
I like your pregame interview with Maritza Sider. We don't usually hear him too much on the interviews, but he mentioned the playoffs as well, and that's twice now I've heard that. Andrew Kopp, I heard last week saying that, and again I'm paraphrasing now, is that if we don't make the playoffs, it's unacceptable. So, and that's the attitude the Red Wings have got to get. They've been so close down these last 2 seasons. They need to get in the playoffs this year.
The Penguins shot it in. The referee, Peter McDougall, got hit in the leg with that shot, and so they whistled a play down deep in that Detroit zone. Well, yeah, you got to have the confidence, and you think about it. 2 years ago, they tied the Washington Capitals with 91 points. Didn't make it in because of a tiebreaker. Last year, just 3 more wins, and the Red Wings are in.
And I keep saying about the penalty killing, Ken. If the penalty killing improves, just get the middle of the NHL, that's enough to put you into the playoffs. So it's an easy fix for the Red Wings. Just got to bear it down. But it's just the attitude, and that's what winning teams are talking about. It's not about individual statistics. It's just about winning. Winning games, winning championships. That's what they're talking about, and that's what the Red Wings got to get back in. That is their only goal, is to get themselves in the playoffs.
4 minutes and 5 seconds gone by here in the opening period. 1-0 Kindle, the goal scorer from Shea at 3:40. Face off deep in the Detroit zone. Wings win the draws. Heinen lost the draw, and the puck is lifted off the stick of Carter Mazur into the Pittsburgh end. Pens fail to clear the zone. It's lifted by Mazur into the corner. Now sent around the wing to Robbie Fabry. It's off his stick. Now Fabry picks it up in the second effort, dumped it in behind his own goal for Alexia.
When you watch Robbie Fabry play and you think back when he played for the Red Wings again, he's just such a hard-working guy and very determined, and you wonder why he's always on a professional trial, but he just gets injured so many times that teams just don't want to take a risk, to take a chance.
He's had some serious injuries on the course of his career, not only with the Wings, but also with the St. Louis Blues.
I think he's had 3 separate knee injuries, knee surgeries, so it's really difficult to come back, but he finds a way to come back, and he's a hard-nosed kid.
Penguins lead 1-0. The puck is in front of the penalty box. Patilla to drive it around the boards into the corner of the wing zone. All with a nice move to get away from traffic. And now a rink-wide feed to Gustafsson as he carries in over the Pittsburgh line. Long shot. Jari the save. Rebound Graves. Couldn't handle it. Graves chopped it into the corner. Wings settle it down. Comes back in the line to Ian Mitchell. Now to Gustafsson. turning with it. Shine with a shot tipped by the player Jack St. Ivany right to his own goaltender, Jari, who had to be quick to make the pad save.
That was a difficult save for Jerry. Not a good play that time by the Penguin defenseman. More pressure for the Red Wings, trying to get that forechecking game going.
Penguins leading 1-0. Here is Imama picking it up and playing it out to center ice. In over the line, Hallander, and that play is whistled down. It's offside across the Detroit blue line.
Well, they had a moment of silence before the game, and well-deserved for the legendary broadcaster, Ray Lane. 95 years of age. I'll guarantee you one thing, he was a young 95 when he passed away, and well, you could never find a better guy, just full of life, and the passion he had no matter what he was doing, what sport he was covering. He found that passion. Just an outstanding broadcaster and even a better person.
As a Michigan native, he actually went to Detroit Mackenzie High School, and was actually a pretty good athlete, pretty good baseball player, decided to go into broadcasting. And one of the stories he always told, Ray Lane, was that he'd be playing baseball for Mackenzie High School, and he'd be out in the outfield calling play-by-play. And it turned out to be a solid play-by-play guy for the Tigers and also for the Cincinnati Reds. He was a terrific broadcaster, and he'll be missed. He's a great guy, Ray Lane. 1-0 lead for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here's Shea, who got the assist on the first Penguin goal, dumping it down and behind the Detroit net. Scooping it up, Tommy Novak. He is dumped by Sandin Pellikka. Novak chopped it right out in front of the goal, comes back to the line, and Matt Dumba with a shot. Gibson juggles it, holds on with some traffic. Philip Hollander right out in front of the goal.
Another guy trying to prove himself, Matt Dumba. He's been around the National Hockey for a while. He was a fixture back in the blue line with a better young defenseman in the NHL. Not so good the last couple of seasons, but maybe gets things turned around this year of this new team, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Timeout, 13:57 to go in the opening period. Penguins lead the Red Wings 1-0. We'll be back with more in a moment from Little Caesars Arena after this timeout on the Detroit Red Wings Radio Network.
In every home, someone is always too cold or too warm.
What's the temperature in here? I'll just...
And then there's someone who's trying to save money.
Step away from the thermostat.
Well, DTE wants to help with both. Seal air leaks, add insulation, and change filters regularly to save up to $200 a year. And stay comfortable, too.
Ah, warm and cozy.
Get more tips at dteenergy.com/saveenergy. DTE.
At McLaren, we know that when you need emergency care, the waiting room is the last place you want to be. Which is why we offer online check-in for non-life-threatening conditions. So you can check into your local McLaren ER right from your home. Just visit mclaren.org/ER and select a time that fits your schedule. The next time you need expert ER care, check in online so the waiting room can be your living room. That's mclaren.org/ER.
All right, guys, who brought the boring, overpriced food to the tailgates?
Little Caesars Dill Deer here. Try cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99 instead. With delicious sliced steak and onions, they'll still to show at every tailgate.
Oh, these taste legit! You should come to every tailgate, Deal Deer.
Oof, I'll be honest, I don't do tailgates. Too many headlights. For a limited time this NFL season, order cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99. Little Caesars is the real deal.
Pizza. Plus tax were applicable. Available at participating locations for a limited time. Prices may vary. Prices higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and third-party online sites.
Brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, the official healthcare provider of the Detroit Red Wings Radio Network. Confidence comes with every card. 1-0 lead for the Penguins. Ben Kindle, the lone goal in the hockey game from Shea at 3:40. Face off to the right of Gibson. Alex DeBrincat will take the draw after Marco Kasper got waved out of the circle against Philip Hollander. From the draw, the puck was shot wide of the goal. Jack St. Ivany with a drive, and that one got through the goaltender, Gibson, but wide into the corner it goes.
See, forward thinks it's easy taking faceoffs back inside your own blue line. That's a lot of pressure. We saw it right there. Kasper kicked out. Alex DeBrincat took the draw and tried real hard to do it, but ended up being a clean scoring chance for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wings now on the attack, deep in the Pittsburgh zone.
One of the things that Todd McClellan wanted his team to work on, they gave up 2 goals against Buffalo on faceoffs. That happened very quickly, and one of those goals was Tage Thompson, who always seems to play well against Detroit. He had a 2-goal game.
You know, it's not just like hitting a switch and say, okay, I'm better at faceoffs now. You just got to bear down. You got to find a way, but the other guy's running win there too.
Brinkett over the line. His shot off the stick of Jack St. Ivany. DeBrincat took down St. Ivany, and a penalty call coming up here as Detroit will be getting the gate. Kasper mixing it up a little bit after the whistle. The first power play of the game will go to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They already have a 1-0 lead over Detroit.
You know, he's one of the smallest players in the NHL, Alex DeBrincat, but he's stocky and he's strong. And again, he's really strong on his skates, and he can be a little bit more physical than you might expect I think that was not much of a minor penalty. Alex DeBrincat, I think, saying that to the referee as he skates by him towards the box.
Tripping will be the call on Jack St. Ivany. Crowd doesn't like it, but the first power play of the game goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins. That brings out the Red Wings penalty kill, which is brought to you all season long by Corewell Health. No matter the challenge, their response is always the same: we can.
And the Red Wings want to get their penalty killing going now in the preseason. Get a good streak going. You've got a couple of different games not allowing a power play goal against. JT Conference out there to take the draw, but very important now the Wings to get much better in this penalty killing situation.
They've allowed 5 power play goals already in the preseason, and that's not a good indicator, really, just because of the fact that you're playing with a bunch of different guys out there.
In fairness to everything, Ken, most things that happen in the preseason, these exhibition games, it means a lot to the young players, not so much to the veteran players, but they definitely got to find a way to do it before October 9th against the Canadians.
As you mentioned, Paul, you start getting better on the penalty kill, you're going to win more hockey games. Now the Penguins dump it down low to the side. Hollander got it now off the stick. Here's Fabry with a shot, a wrist around in front, blocked, I believe, by Hall, who lost his stick. He has a broken stick that he had to drop, so the puck goes into the corner. And now Mazur trying to dig it loose. Puck comes to the blue line, hustling Dumba to hold it in.
JT Copper just gave his stick to Justin Hall. That's going to help the Wings a little bit.
Dumba with a shot, deflected by Gustafsson right out in front of Gibson, and that went out of play, so that's a break for the Red Wings. Minute 13 to go in the minor penalty to Alex DeBrincat.
Just a bad break. I mean, you just can't draw it up. Like, how do you lose your stick in that situation? Happened to Justin Hall. Now he's trying to play defense without no stick. Not a good idea in the National Hockey. Wings got a break there. Penguins almost take a 2-0 lead. Still a minor 1:13 left in the penalty to DeBrincat.
Last season, the Penguins 7th in the Metropolitan Division. And their power play actually was pretty good. 6th overall in the National Hockey League, 25.8%.
I'm just not sure how many of these guys are going to end the season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's why I think it's almost impossible for this team to make the playoffs. Stranger things happen. Then you got that rookie coach as well. But he does have some veteran former coaches helping him on that bench as well.
Well, goaltending really hurt him last year.
Yeah,
and that's got to get better.
Factor, but I mean, you start losing guys with Raquel and Rust, maybe Eric Carlson back on the blue line. It's hard to replace those guys.
Wings fail to clear it out. Gustafsson's clear, broken up at the line by Kovanen. Got it across to the player who scored, Ben Kindle, and now he's diving to try and hold it in. It comes out the center. Dominic Shine short-handed, stutter step move. Now backhands it softly in behind the Pittsburgh goal. More time coming off that penalty clock to DeBrincat.
Good for checking this time the Red Wings. Marco Kasper, official of the penalty box. It wasn't handled by Tristan Jarry, but no damage done. Here come the Penguins again.
Here's Ryan Shea, who assisted on the goal by Kindle. Got it up across the line to Hayes. Back to Shea, who backhands it around the boards into the far corner. Puck jammed by Kindle in behind the goal. Sandin Pellikka backhands it up the wall. Shea holds it in. Kasper intercepted it. Now it's turned over to Sandin Pellikka. Lost the handle of it, and it slides out to the Pittsburgh blue line. Shea got it ahead. Over the blue line skates Dan Heinen. Pass across. Red Wings are at full strength. DeBrincat stays in the play. The puck is to the line. And Graves with a long slapper from the middle of the blue line on target. Gibson with a glove save.
Final shot that totals right now 6, it says, for Detroit, 3 for Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's controlled this first period. We played about 10 minutes. The Wings have got to get going offensively. Not much time spent in that offensive zone.
Gibson played 31 minutes and 48 seconds against the Penguins in Pittsburgh on Friday. Allowed 1 goal on 14 shots. 4 times in his career, he has 20-plus wins. In one season, 2017-18, Gibson won 31 games.
He played a lot of hockey for the Anaheim, but he's been banged up last couple of years. But when he's on his game, he's a big goaltender. He's a veteran. He knows how to do it. And the Ducks, I think, a much improved team in the Western Conference. A couple former Red Wing goaltenders playing for them. Peter Mrazek, Billy Husso. They've got 3 goaltenders right now on their roster. I don't think that'll stay that way.
The Ducks have a veteran coach, one of the all-time winningest coaches in the National Hockey League, in Joel Quenneville.
I'm picking the Ducks to make the playoffs in the Western Conference. And Mason McTavish back. I think that long-term deal is definitely going to help.
Puck is deflected off the stick of Berggren, who was making a beeline over the Pittsburgh line. Hit a player on that Penguin bench. But Joel Quenneville's a guy that just knows how to win.
Proved that the Chicago Blackhawks.
Florida Panthers.
Coach the St. Louis Blues, Colorado. Been a good coach for a long time. His second all-time, I think, right now in victories in NHL history for a head coach.
Well, he was with the Florida Panthers just when they were starting their run of dominance.
I'm not sure, Ken. I think it's not take nothing away from the coaches. I think it's a general manager. When Bill Zito got there, things just seemed to change for the Florida Panthers. They're always a team that's on the edge, barely making the playoffs if he did. All of a sudden now, it's just every season, he just somehow finds a way to put a very strong team together no matter what the odds are against it.
They're going to be without Barkov for the whole season as he has a pretty major injury and needs surgery. As the puck comes back in the line, he'll be missing Kachuk as well. So it'll be a challenge, but somehow, as you said, Paul, they get it done. Here is Kane with a feed, top of the left circle. From the line, Mo Sider rolls it down right circle. Wings buzzing around in that Pittsburgh zone, trying to tie it up. Casper in behind the Penguin goal, moves away from traffic into the corner, turns away from Alexia. Now Kane, stick handles with a puck, moves it to the line. Sider, long shot. Jari came out, made the save. Casper pushing and shoving right out in front of the goal.
That's exactly what Red Wings needed, a strong shift in the offensive zone. And against the Casper line out there, his second year in the NHL. Plays like a veteran with Kane and DeBrincat. Good job by those guys. Sider back on the blue line, good scoring chance. And that's the first quality shift the Wings have had in the game. They need to put those back-to-back now and put some pressure on this Penguin defense.
It's DeBrincat mixing it up a little bit again, so playing a little physical here in the opening period. Every time the Red Wings score a goal this season, it will be a DT Energy. Light the lamp goal, timeout, 9:40 to go, opening period. Ben Kindle's goal, the difference, 1-0 Pittsburgh. We'll be back with more in a moment. This is your home for Detroit Red Wings hockey.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota, including the best-selling Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through September 30th, get 4.75 APR financing on any new 25 Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You know what's great about Sheetz? We never close. Breakfast at midnight? Yup. Fries at 5 a.m. Absolutely. Fuel, fresh food, snacks, coffee, we got it all. Whenever you want it. So, whether you're fueling up the truck or just your face, we got you. Come through and say hi. We promise we won't judge your 3 a.m. nachos order. Sheetz. Open all day, every day in Michigan. Why the Sheetz not?
Nine minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the opening period. 7 shots by the Red Wings, 3 for the Penguins. Ben Kindle from Shea, the lone goal, scored .340, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. Face off to the left of Tristan Jari, and now it's intercepted by Shea. It's lifted around the boards right side, and Heinen to tap that puck backhand style into the Red Wing end. Wings trying to pick it up out at center ice. Lifted to the Pittsburgh blue line. Robbie Fabry dishes it across to Shea, hammers it up the left wing, and trickles to the side of the Detroit goal. Gibson floats it around the boards. Ranseg Nygaard taps it ahead to the trailer, bringing it out to center. Carter Mazer one hands it up across the Pittsburgh blue line. Shea circles in behind the Pittsburgh goal, cuts out in front of Tristan Jari, brings it down the middle out to the Hockey Town logo at center. He'll pump it around the end boards. Gibson stops him with a big paddle in behind the goal, rolls it around the boards. And now it's muscled ahead by Finney, came out to center ice. Finney has a goal and assist so far in the preseason as the Penguins settle it down and making a change on the go, so the Red Wings will change as well. Around 8:45 to go in the opening period, 1-0 Pittsburgh lead. Gustafsson in front of the penalty box had it taken away. Tommy Novak along the blue line, takes it deep into his own zone, drops it off to Shea, and he finds his man winding it up at center ice. That is Tommy Novak dumping it up across the Detroit blue line. Now a pass down low, right circle. Moving in Tomasino. Shot it out in front. It deflects along the near boards into the corner. Into the slot. Quick feed by Tommy Novak into the corner. He spins away from traffic. Brings it towards the top of the near circle. Turned it over. Gustafsson will intercept and hammer it out to the Pittsburgh blue line.
He turned it over, but again, he turned over in a safe spot along the boards that time. And again, the Pittsburgh Penguins playing a very disciplined first period here. Not much offensive pressure by the Red Wings.
Alexia will chase that loose puck down and behind the Pittsburgh goal. The Red Wings make a change. Linder and Sider out there on the blue line for Detroit. Berggren picks off the puck at center ice, moves it to the Pittsburgh line. Ben Kindle intercepted it, skates over the Red Wing line, quickly moves in, shoots the puck. Gibson the save, and cradles the rebound with a glove hand along the ice.
A good rush by Kindle down that right side. He scored a goal early in this first period. Almost gets his second there. Nice shot down the right side. As I mentioned, but Cam Talbot down on both pads, played that angle perfectly to get his team out of trouble one more time.
I was looking at the penalty killer, or penalty, most players with the most penalties in the preseason, and it's a former Red Wing, believe it or not, trying to make a statement for the Carolina Hurricanes. Giovanni Smith, 3 games played, 28 penalty minutes, and he's the leader in penalty minutes in the NHL in the preseason.
They got a really heavy third line. They can really take care of the physical play for the Carolina Hurricanes, but that's a team I think is going to be better than they were last year. They've added some different players. Nicholas Ehlers from the Winnipeg Jets is skating that top line, but that's my team to finish in first this year in the Metropolitan Division.
Just always seem to be on the attack, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Well, coach and Rod DeBendamore, a total team effort. It's all 5 guys involved offensively and defense, and they love to play in the offensive zone.
The puck lifted around the boards by Kindle. It's held in at the line. Kindle picks it up again, drops it to St. Ivany. His shot off a Red Wing stick. DeBrincat lost it. He gloved it ahead, and Casper to squeeze that puck out to center ice.
I think his teammate played it after he gloved it, but no call by either referee. It happened back inside the Red Wing blue line. No damage done.
Koivunen shot it to the side of the Red Wing goal. Scooping it up in behind the net, Puustinen. Played it off the boards, and now it's sent right out in front of the Red Wing goal by the Pens. Moving in, Dumba, his shot blocked by the Wings defense.
Pittsburgh just quicker right now, just pouncing on pucks all over the ice.
Play is down low to the side of the Red Wing goal. DeBrincat chopped it out of midair. Dumba holds it in with his glove. Now sweeps it over to Shea, left circle. Stick handles over to the middle of the blue line. Passes it over on the right side of the ice for Imama. Now he lost the puck. Red Wings dump it down the ice. Jari keeps the play alive as he skates off to the side of his own goal and hands that puck off to Shea, the defenseman for Pittsburgh. 6:14 to go in the opening period. A 1-0 lead for the Penguins. 7 shots by Detroit, 5 for Pittsburgh. And now inside the Red Wings zone, Ian Mitchell will pick it up and play it ahead. And the play whistled down inside the Detroit end.
All right, Dick, can we play a little bit of game here tonight? I'm going to give you a name of the team in the Metropolitan Division. You're going to tell me they had more points they had last year or less points. We'll start at the top. The Washington Capitals, 111 points.
Less.
I'm with you there. Carolina Hurricanes, 99. More or less?
I will say more.
I'm going to say more, too. New Jersey Devils, 91.
I'll say less.
I'm saying more. That's going to be a good team. Columbus Blue Jackets, 89.
I'll say less.
I'm saying more there. Rangers, 85.
I'll say more.
More there as well. New York Islanders, 82.
I'm going to say the same, 82.
I'm going more. Yep. Pittsburgh, 80.
I'll say more.
I'm saying less. And Philadelphia, 75. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is tough. I'll say less.
I'm going more for the Philadelphia Flyers and a new head coach back behind their bench as well. Mick Tocchet, a former Flyer player, and I think they made some good additions in the offseason.
Not a bad game, that more or less game, as the Penguins bring it ahead to center ice. Heinen taps it up across the line now. Poulin with a feed in front, a backhand, and that one hit the side of the goal. Maybe Gibson got a piece of it. Robbie Fabry cruising in right there.
Yep, John Gibson definitely been the Red Wings' best player in the opening period. It wasn't a shot on a goal, but the forward got back in behind the defense and went to the backhand of the deke, and it just did roll off his stick.
Alexiev, who's cruising in there as the puck comes up the left wing boards out to Dominic Shine at center. Tapped it ahead off the stick of Leonard into the near corner. Graves muscles a backhand up the near wing. St. Ivany will chip that puck out to center ice. Drives checked along the boards near side. Now scooped into the Detroit zone. Penguins on the attack. Moving in after it is Hollander. Gustafsson backhanded up the far wall, didn't clear it out. It deflects deeper into the corner. Justin Hall will try and plays it off the body of John Leonard out to center ice. Penguins lead 1-0 on the early goal by Ben Kindle at 3:40. Make a change. Comfer is on the ice now. Dominic Shine is exiting the ice. Berggren out there for Detroit as it's lifted by Kindle up across the Detroit line. Koivunen drops it right circle, fanning on it. Avery Hayes as that puck comes back on the line. Shea with a screen shot block. Rebound up the left wing. Thrown into the corner for Hayes. Hayes on his backhand. Checked by Wallinder into the corner. And now scooping it up for Detroit is Mo Seider. Seider on the reverse. Got it to Wallinder again. Not a Seider in the right corner. Red Wings bottled up in their own end for a moment. Wallinder is taken down and helping out the forward. That is Berggren to get it ahead to Comfort. Good breakout now to Seider over the line.
Bear drops it back. Berggren tried to feed it over to Bear. Broken up by the Penguins as they'll scoot it up the wing and out to center ice.
Good play by Colvin and finish up forward, getting back there and taking away a good scoring chance for the Wings.
The Wings had some problems getting it out right there, but then they managed to get it out there and get back into the Penguin zone on a good attack, and now it's icing called against Pittsburgh with 3:31 to go.
Buffalo Sabres, a much improved team, I think. Much stronger back in the blue line. They're top four. Buffalo right now, just as good as any team in the National Hockey. There's another team that's desperate to make the playoffs. 13 different seasons now for the Sabres since they got themselves in the playoffs.
They actually played a really solid game. They had probably a better lineup, more veterans in the lineup against Detroit on Saturday afternoon, but they really played pretty well.
Yeah, you really can't put anything in all these games until you get to the lineups. The incomplete lineups of both sides are playing, and of course that'll start Detroit on October 9th against the Montreal Canadiens. And Montreal's got some questions to answer as well, especially their center iceman. The second and third centers not that strong right now. Number 1 and number 4, very good for the Canadiens.
Montreal, that'll be their second game of the season. They played a night earlier in Toronto against the Maple Leafs to open up their campaign. Here's Patrick Kane moving it out to center ice for Detroit. Scored a goal against the Sabres on Saturday, dropping it back, and now it's lifted by Casper off the sideboards into the corner. Graves to sweep it around to St. Ivany.
So much talk about Mitch Marner leaving the Maple Leafs. That definitely is a gaping hole. There's so many different things that help his team play and win hockey games, but you got to remember as well that Austin Matthews didn't have a great season statistically last year. I think it was in the high 30s in goals, and he scored 60 goals in a season by himself. So if he's back at full strength, that's going to help. And William Nealner had a great this season as well. He and John Tavares. I think the Maple Leafs will be just like they were last year, but 110 points on the season. But I got them going deeper again this year. If you think back, in the second round, they had the Florida Panthers down 2-0 before goaltender Anthony Stolarz got injured. If he stays in that series, Toronto had a great chance to win.
Well, sooner or later, they're going to have to get there. I mean, their window is not as wide open as it used to be, but they're still a pretty good hockey team.
After us winning the championships for so many different seasons, now you see how hard it is to actually do that. It's a very difficult thing. Maple Leafs have not won since 1967.
Barry almost tripped on the puck right there, trying to stop it in behind his own goal. The puck to the left circle, a quick shot by Finney, and that one wide of the target. Haul in deep in the corner, muscles it in behind the goal, and Patilla to pick it up. The Penguin defenseman bothered there by Finney, who's trying to keep the play alive, and he does, deep in the corner in the Pittsburgh end. 1-0 lead, Penguins. 2:09 to go first period. Heinen, watched by Brandsteg Nygaard. Here's Hall faking the shot for Detroit at the line. Skates into the right circle, shot the puck blocked. Hall had the hook on him a little bit. Now the Penguins, Heinen brings it out to center, moves away from Carter Mazur, crosses the red line, dumps it off the stick of Gibson into the right corner. Robbie Fabry tied up a little bit in the corner right there by Gustafsson, the veteran Red Wing blue liner. Hollander steals for the Penguins, worked it in the slot, a one-time shot. Rebound chance, Gibson is down. He made the save as Tomasino tried to score from in close.
It's a bad break right there for Detroit. Justin Hall late in the shift had that puck. He tried to bounce it off the side of boards to a teammate come in his own zone. It bounces off his skate, comes right back to a Pittsburgh player who turned and let it go, and John Gibson came up with a key save to keep it just a one-goal deficit late in the opening period.
Timeout, 1:35 to go in the opening period. Pittsburgh 1-0 lead over the Red Wings on the Detroit Red Wings Radio Network.
Thanks for calling the McComb Group.
Hey, I'm looking for a half-inch quick response 155-degree 5.6K chrome pendant sprinkler.
No problem. We have plenty of Victaulic V2708 155s in stock.
What you're hearing is not an alien encounter. It's called FireFab, the language of fire fabrication services. And at the McComb Group, we speak it fluently. Call us at 833-PIPE-USA when you need an expert who speaks your language. Or go to McCombGroup.com. The McComb Group. We speak FireFab, and we're built to say yes.
To
Together, let's drive.
Red Wings fans, get in the game at Dunham Sports to find great savings in every aisle. Since 1937, Dunham's has been bringing Red Wing fans the best values on the brand name sporting goods you want. Dunham's has your favorite brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Champion, Carhartt, Titleist, Bauer, Spalding, Warrior, Nordic Track, and many more at prices that are hard to beat. Get in the game and save at any of the 70 Michigan Dunham Sports locations.
Get in the game at Dunham's.
Well, $1:35 to go here in the opening period. 1-0 lead for the Penguins. Detroit out shooting the Pittsburgh Penguins 7-5. It's been a while, though, since the Red Wings have had a shot on goal.
I don't know about that shot total. I'm not quite sure how they come up with that because I'd say definitely Pittsburgh's been the better team here in the first 20 minutes.
Up the left wing boards, Tomasino races quickly into the Detroit zone around Mo Seider, circles the net, goes from his backhand to his forehand, rolls it down low into the corner. Now Novak drops it back again. Tomasino's pass into the corner in deep is Shea. Scoops it down low into the right corner for Novak again. On his backhand, turns away from Wallinder, goes down with a minute to go in the period. Play still deep in the Red Wing zone. Mo Seider trying to jam it away from a couple of players. Along the corner boards, Penguins come away with it. Tommy Novak swings it out in front. Nobody in the high slot. Carter Bear brings it out to center. Now lifts it over the line to Berggren.
Yeah, play by Tommy Novak. That's what he's got to get rid of at the NHL level. Try to make a little saucer pass. He flipped it in front. It didn't work out. He's very fortunate the Wings did not gather at that puck and headed down the ice on an odd man rush.
Ryan Shea settling it down inside the Pittsburgh zone. They're attacking left to right here in the opening period. His pass misses everybody, but Gibson keeps it alive, stopping it in the trapezoid behind his own net. Marco Kasper bounced it off the boards to get away from a Penguin player, rolls it ahead, and now DeBrincat outlets it to Wong. Hall up across the line to Marco Kasper, had it knocked away, came out to center. Avery Hayes doing the job there. Red Wings shoot it back in weakly, and time will wind down. And the first period comes to a close. The only goal off the stick of Ben Kindle from Ryan Shea at 3:40 of the opening period. And after one here in Detroit, on this Monday night, the Penguins lead the Red Wings 1-0.
Yeah, not a good period of hockey for Todd McLellan and his team. Expected much more against a depleted lineup of the Pittsburgh Penguins, but really all Pittsburgh in that opening period, offensively, defensively, and just taking away all the time and space of the Red Wings. And really, I thought the Wings only one quality shift in that first period. That came the Kasper line with Kane and DeBrincat. They kept that puck inside the blue line. They involved their defense. Before that, just non-existent. So the Red Wings got to get it going now. Need to be much, much better in the second and third period. And really, I think fortunate, just down one goal.
Yeah, that was the thing we saw in the first two preseason games here at home against Chicago and the Buffalo Sabres is the Red Wings generated more shots and had more pressure in the offensive zone.
And again, just that one line, so got to get it going in now. So 20 minutes in the books and 40 minutes left to go. So they make some change in between periods, come back out, but got to be much better against this Pittsburgh team.
First period shots on goal brought to you by the McComb Group, the leader between the pipes for all of your industrial pipe needs. 6 shots by the Pittsburgh Penguins on John Gibson. The Red Wings had 7 against Tristan Jarry.
I want to pass along my happy birthday wishes to you, Ken. I'll tell you, can see maturity. I just can't believe it. In the old days, you'd be dancing around here, patting yourself on the back, and you just stood there and didn't even make a wave towards a big scoreboard. I mean, how things have changed, but happy birthday.
Well, normally you'd give me a present like a toupee or something like that, and some little joke bag or something like that, but I see you stopped that too.
Never say never.
That's right, not as young yet, right?
Not as young.
Well, the Red Wings in the first intermission here. They trail, got some work to do. Pittsburgh 1 and the Detroit Red Wings 0. Dustin Fiocco's in our 1-800-CALL-SAM studios. He is coming up next. This is your home for Detroit Red Wings hockey.
Hey, it's Ken Cal, voice of the Red Wings. There's a homegrown squad that's been around even longer than the Wings. Rose Pest Solutions turned pro over 160 years ago and has dominated pests ever since. Rose safeguards your home or business against pests like bedbugs, cockroaches, rodents, and spiders. Their technicians are also equipped to meet all safety regulations. That's why Rose is an official partner of the Detroit Red Wings. Pest problem? Rose is the solution. Call Rose at 800-966-ROSE or go to rosepestsolutions.com.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit Rocket.com. Rocket. Own the dream.
After beating colon cancer, I'm turning setbacks into comebacks. I am Henry.
I'm pain-free and at full strength after spine surgery. I am Henry.
A life-saving delivery ensured my shift could continue. I am Henry.
When you need care to get you back on your game, trust the only care team chosen as the official team physicians for the Detroit Red Wings. Henry Ford Health. We are Henry.
All right, guys, who brought the boring, overpriced food to the tailgate? Little Caesars Dill Deer here. Try cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99 instead. With delicious sliced steak and onions, they'll still to show at every tailgate. Ho-ho! These taste legit! You should come to every tailgate, Dill Deer.
Oof, I'll be honest, I don't do tailgates. Too many headlights. For a limited time this NFL season, order cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99. Little Caesars is the real deal. Pizza. Plus tax where applicable. Available at participating locations for limited time. Prices may vary. Prices higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and third-party online sites.
The scrape of blades. The clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLShop.com. Fanatics experience.
Dustin Fiocco from inside the 1-800-CALL-SAM studio. Red Wings looking to improve to 3-2 in the preseason. Also looking to even things up at one apiece with Pittsburgh after losing 3-2 against them on Friday. They do have some work to do. After 20 minutes, it is 1-0 in favor of the Pens. Now let's take a look at your first period scoring summary to see how we got to that score. Penguins, they don't waste any time going up quickly in this contest. They look like the sharper team for the bulk of the first 20 minutes of this hockey game, and their efforts pay off. Ben Kindle with an early goal within the first 4 minutes of play.
Now here's a shot, and they score as Shea got it right out in front of the goal. And driving in right out in front was Ben Kindle, and he scores the goal to make it 1-0 Pittsburgh.
That's Kindle's first of the preseason. That puts Detroit behind 1-0 in the early stages of this contest. And that goal proving to be the only one tallied in this frame. It's been a narrative of the preseason for Detroit so far, especially the last week of play. We've been seeing Detroit tallying more shots than their opponents. They are winning the shot battle. They've done that most of this preseason, but the eye test does appear to show that the Pens have looked like the better team on the ice. The score certainly reflecting that as we sit at a 1-0 hockey game. Wings still need to get on the scoreboard at LCA so they can even things up in this game. Let's run through some of the numbers in this first period. Right now, again, that shot favor of Detroit. They are leading the shot battle 7-6. John Gibson, he has staved 5 of 6. Not much effort. A lot of effort going towards his way. Not much in terms of tallying only 6 shots by the Pens. He had a great showing in the first game against these two teams in the week of on Friday, saving 13 of 14. Power play, the Red Wings have yet to have a crack on it. The Penguins, they are 0 for 1. Detroit killing off their only time down a man. Faceoffs in favor of the Red Wings 10-9. Hits in favor of Detroit as well. That sits at 12-8. But the score we sit at after 20 minutes, the Red Wings trailing the Penguins 1-0. Detroit trailing by that goal, but still a chance to get back into this as they take on the Pittsburgh Penguins for the second time this preseason. And with that work to do, we'll talk to Paul Woods up next and get his thoughts on the game thus far. We'll do that right here on the Red Wings Radio Network.
Since 1927, Gallagher has been serving the communities where we live and work. We partner with businesses of every size to provide insurance, risk management, and benefit solutions that prepare them for what's next. Whether you are on Main Street or across the globe, we're ready to help you take on any challenge. As a proud partner of the Detroit Red Wings, we bring that same commitment to Detroit and all of Michigan. Dedicated to partnering with you to face the future with confidence. Learn more at ajg.com. Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and people strategy partner.
From Novi to Royal Oak and down to Woodhaven and even Windsor, Ashley has Detroit covered when it comes to affordable, high-quality furniture and unbelievably comfortable mattresses. After nearly 20 years in the community, Ashley is proud to be the first official furniture and mattress partner of the Detroit Red Wings. Shop any of our 7 Metro Detroit locations and mention this partnership to receive 20% off your purchase. Some exclusions apply. Visit us today and help support the Red Wings this season. Only at Ashley.
Imagine a world where technology transforms the way we think about our environment. Welcome to Priority, where we're redefining the future of recycling and cleanliness with cutting-edge tech. Our innovative solutions are designed for those who demand smarter, more efficient ways to care for our planet. We're not just ahead of the curve, we're creating it. Ready to join the revolution? Visit PriorityWaste.com and see how we're setting the new standards in the industry. Priority, where technology meets sustainability.
Hey, baseball fans, Mike Valena here. If you're looking for a great trip to plan, go do something fun, how about Vegas? The D.com, the D Las Vegas. It's your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Inside the 1-800-CALL-SAM studio, 20 minutes have been played at LCA. Detroit with some work to do as they trail the Penguins 1-0. And after 20 minutes, let's get some thoughts from Paul Woods, who's down at LCA calling the action tonight. Paul, great to have you on tonight.
Yeah, you too, Dustin. Thanks very much.
And we do have that 20 minutes in the books. Red Wings trailing by 1. What did you see out there at LCA tonight?
Not enough from Detroit. And again, I expected much more from the Red Wings. They have a stronger lineup by far. But again, you got to give the Pittsburgh Penguins that credit. Lots of trade rumors swirling around in this franchise right now. What they're going to do, going to tear it down and build it back up later. So lots of indecisiveness. That never helps the team. But you got to give that young rookie coach a good job. Dan Muse are doing a good job. His team played very well in the opening period. And again, the shot total is not a good indication the way that period went.
Yeah, the eye test kind of saying that the Red Wings were trailing in that, even though they do have the shot favor in their advantage. But John Gibson, he allows an early goal, recovering nicely throughout the rest of the period. Sounds like he'll be getting the full 60 minutes following what was a really good showing against Pittsburgh on Friday.
Well, they got 2 professional goaltenders, 2 veteran goaltenders. Cam Talbot, I thought, was good, especially the first half of the season last year. So goaltending won't be an issue this year. For the Red Wings, that's going to be strong. But again, we keep going back to penalty killing. They've got to find a way to do that, become much better. Dead last in the NHL last year. If we can get that up to 15th or 16th, that puts us in the playoffs. And then you get more production as well, offensively from those 3rd and 4th lines. But I think it's going to happen this year for the Red Wings. The Wings, surprisingly, are much deeper down the middle now than most NHL teams. They've got Larkin, of course. They've got Marco Kasper, their prize second-year player. But all of a sudden now it's Andrew Kopp and TJ Comfort. That's the guy, JT Comfort, that's the guy to get going. If those 4 guys are rolling, the Wings will make the playoffs.
Yeah, Red Wings have a very good mix on their roster of seasoned players and certainly youngsters. We've now been playing preseason hockey for the last week. Any of those young players catching your eye early on?
Yeah, I mean, really good. I think, Bensik Nygaard's been good. First game I saw, he brought the puck hard to the net, had a couple of good scoring chances. Emmett Finney's been a good player as well, but they've had 6 or 7 different guys that are playing well, causing problems. Axel Sandin Pellikka, I thought he was good in the last 2 periods, the game I saw. So lots of good things happen there. They've got the blend now, the prospects coming up. Every year now it's like 3 or 4 different guys pushing the door down. So it also gives them depth as a franchise. And if they want to make a deal, most teams are looking for a draft pick and a very good prospect. The Wings fix all those boxes, so they have an easier time making deals as well. But it's going to be good for Red Wing fans, but it starts right here. They've got to get themselves in the playoffs this season.
And that's exactly what I was going to tell you 2 years ago, really in the chase of it, coming right down to the last game of the season. Last year they did fizzle out near the end. What are some realistic expectations heading into the regular season this year for this hockey team?
Well, right now, Dustin, I think in the Atlantica division, the only 2 teams I think right now is going to be definitely the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they're going to be there. Not just injuries, but Florida Panthers are definitely taking a step back. When you lose players like Matthew Tkachuk and Alexander Barkov, you can maintain that for a couple of weeks, but you got to do that for half the season. And then for Barkov, it's probably the entire season. That's a long way. The Florida Panthers are going to have a hard time defending their Stanley Cup unless the general manager, who has all of a sudden lots of cap space, makes a major deal. Don't count out the Penguins, or don't count out the Florida Panthers, because Bill Zito is equal to that challenge.
Now we're talking about teams like the Panthers who have a high ceiling. I heard you doing the over-under on wins this year, or points when it comes to improving from last season. How about we talk about some teams that were at the bottom? The Bruins, Flyers, Blackhawks, Sharks. Any of those teams you think they're going to have a really big comeback year this season?
Yeah, Bruins again. The thing about the Boston Bruins, too, and no one talks about it, is that the second half of the season, they played without their two best defensemen, Charlie McAvoy and Hampus Lindholm. Any NHL team, take Maritza Seider and Simon Edmondson off Detroit, how hard is it for us just to win one game? So that's a major loss. The Bruins, again, are a little bit deeper down the middle than people think they are. So I think the Boston Bruins will make an improvement. I think the Buffalo Sabres in the Atlantic Division are going to be improved as well. Point-wise, they had 79 last year. Montreal, I'm not quite sure because they're second, third center iceman. I'm not sold on those two guys. Ottawa had 97 points last year, and I expect Ottawa to be much better as well. They could hit the 100-point plateau. It will not be easy for Red Wings to make the playoffs. And Tampa Bay made a couple of interesting changes, a little bit more offensive-minded up in their forward lines. I think Tampa Bay right where they were last year at 102, but it's going to be a battle, but the Red Wings definitely can do it as well.
All right, Paul, I appreciate your time. We'll get back to you for that second period. Hopefully the Red Wings get on the board.
Sounds good, Dustin. Thank you very much.
And that was Paul Woods. We'll hear from him in just a little bit, but right now we are going to pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Seguin lost it to Scheifele. Scheifele with 2-on-1. Scheifele scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Red Wings trailing 1-0 to Pittsburgh. We've got that second period of play coming your way next, along with a check of your out-of-town scoreboard. We'll do all that right here on the Red Wings Radio Network.
Hey, hockey fans, get ready to launch your game day experience to another dimension with New Holland Brewery's family of beers, available here at Little Caesars Arena. Whether it's their top-selling Tangerine Space Machine IPA or the legendary Dragon's Milk Stout, New Holland has you covered. Proudly brewed in Holland, Michigan, you can find New Holland beers available throughout the arena and featured at the New Holland Bar on the upper concourse across from Portal 56. Let's go Wings!
Hate's a strong word, but if you bought your home or refinanced in the last few years, you probably don't love your monthly mortgage payment. Well, rates have finally dropped and refis are back. So don't wait another day to connect with your local home loan expert at mortgagematchup.com. They'll work with you on a personalized refi plan that can help you save money now and for years to come. Don't hate your rate. Refi now. Go to mortgagematchup.com. Powered by United Wholesale Mortgage LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 3038. Licensed in all 50 states and the District of Columbia.
We are Feiger Law, the official law firm of the Detroit Red Wings. For over 70 years, Feiger Law has been your hometown team of trial lawyers for auto crashes, truck accidents, birth trauma, and injuries due to medical malpractice. Let our team of homegrown trial lawyers win big for you. Feiger Law, the official law firm of the Detroit Red Wings. All we do is win.
All we do is win.
After beating colon cancer, I'm turning setbacks into comebacks. I am Henry.
I'm pain-free and at full strength after spine surgery. I am Henry.
A life-saving delivery ensured my shift could continue. I am Henry.
When you need care to get you back on your game, trust the only care team chosen as the official team physicians for the Detroit Red Wings. Henry Ford Health. We are Henry.
Hey, baseball fans, Mike Valena here. If you're looking for a great trip to plan, go do something fun, how about Vegas? The D.com, the D Las Vegas. It's your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Dustin Fiocco from inside the 1-800-CALL-SAM studio. We'll get you back out to LCA in just a tick. But right now, let's take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard. Right now, start of the third period, Panthers and Hurricanes each tied up at 2-2. Both teams looking for their second win on the preseason. Panthers, that big budding storyline as they look for the three-peat this year. Rangers, they lead the Islanders in the Battle of New York teams. That game finished up with 20 minutes. Rangers leading 1-0. Much like that previous game, each team also looking for their second win on the preseason. It's scoreless in Philadelphia. Flyers and Bruins each knotted up at 0 after one period. And a couple games still on the agenda for later on tonight. The Calgary Flames take on the Seattle Kraken. And also the San Jose Sharks taking on the Anaheim Ducks. And we've got action at LCA right now as the Detroit Red Wings trail the Penguins. It's a 1-0 score at Little Caesars Arena. Getting you back out to Ken Cal and Paul Woods. They'll take you from here.
All right, here come the Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins out onto the ice surface, and the Red Wings outshot the Penguins 7-6, but I don't know about those shots, Paul. Most of the puck in the play has been in that Pittsburgh or the Detroit zone.
I'll guarantee you one thing, it wasn't a happy Red Wing locker room. That coaching staff won't be pleased as well. They'll want their team to come out and play much better now in the second, third period. Unfortunately, really just be trailing 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. Christian Jerry didn't have much work at all in that opening period.
And again, we talked about it in the first two preseason games. The Red Wings really had the puck in that offensive zone for quite some time. And you look at the shots on goal, the Red Wings had the great quality scoring chances, way better. But that didn't happen in the opening period, so that's got to improve.
And then the pace and the tempo wasn't there as well. And again, not much at all. And again, the forwards got to get back in their own zone to quickly get back there and support that puck. And then defense got to win the battles and quickly get it to the forwards and get them up the ice, then join the play, and then get that five-man game working in the offensive zone. But it's just one period of play, and again, the Wings will be much better, I predict, these final 40 minutes.
Sidney Crosby not in the lineup for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's 38 years old right now. Boy, the career number is just outstanding, 1,687 points. So what type of season do you think he's going to have this year?
I think last year he hit 100 points. He got right to 100-point plateau, and I've been thinking out Wayne Gretzky, only the player to get over 2,000 points in his NHL career, and I think he wants to be the second one, so you give him 3 more years at 100 points a season. But that's my question. Can he do it here in Pittsburgh, especially if Russ goes, if Raquel goes, and back on the blue line again? If they lose all those guys, Letang, if he's not there, Eric Carlson, like, can he get there? Maybe he does want to go in a trade. Like, maybe he does go to Florida. Now Florida's got all that cap space to use.
Nice second period brought to you by the Jack Demmer Automotive Group. Jack Demmer Ford and Jack Demmer Lincoln. Discover the Demmer difference.
I can't believe it. I read these rumors every morning. I can't stand them, and now I'm producing them.
Here's a shot taken from right out in front by Tommy Novak, who got the pass. He was along the left side of the Red Wing goal, got a shot away. Gibson slid over to make the save.
An awkward save right there by John Gibson. Just slid across there. Very fortunate that puck hit his pad. Tommy Novak left unchallenged. Not a good defensive play by the Wings, and almost 2-0 Pittsburgh. He just fumbled it, Tommy Novak. He lets it go quickly. Gibson was already down, could have easily flipped it above his pad and give the Penguins a 2-goal lead.
Buffalo scored 2 times in the second and third period in the first minute of play, and anytime a team scores a goal in the first minute, that's just a killer. And that was a good scoring chance right there for the Penguins as the Red Wings floated down the ice. This will be an icing call against Detroit. 25 seconds into the second period, Pittsburgh on top 1-0.
Hey, good to see Alex Lyon with the Buffalo Sabres, a division rival. He picked up the victory, I think, that night, but boy, he had a couple of good seasons here at the Red Wings. Just another courageous performer and battled hard every time he got the nod to go in goal for the Red Wings.
Cerebral player, Alex Lyon. He loved talking hockey and loved breaking down the game.
Just those stories are great when guys come from nowhere like that, never drafted, and just find a way with such determination, resilience, and never giving up, and then finally playing in the NHL and playing at a high level. It's just a great thing to see. And we saw last year with Dominic Ashine, the good moments he had for the Red Wings.
Took him forever to make it to the National Hockey League, but boy, when he came up here, and he actually produced for Detroit, he really looked good when he came up here.
Jenny Malkin's interesting for the Pittsburgh Penguins as well. He's got an expiring contract, so there's a lot of rumors about him in the trade deadline, and maybe he goes to the Florida Panthers, to replace Barkov, and he'd be a perfect fit because he's a free agent next year, so he can write that back to the cap space if Barkov can return. That's a major injury for the Florida Panther captain.
Kachuk will be out for probably 2 or 3 months. Won't come back till about December at the earliest. So
now because of the Barkov injury, he might come back a little bit earlier. But yeah, that's a tricky injury for him. Again, he wants to play in the Olympics for Team USA.
Wings break out of the Pittsburgh zone after they had some trouble. The Wings did. Here's Kane up across the line, dropping it back. Shot by Gustafsson. That one sails wide of the goal. Kasper on the rebound to the line. Here's Justin Hall. Lost the handle. Now hands it back to Kane over on the left circle. Gustafsson to Kane, long shot, save made, and that may have hit a body right out in front of Tristan Jarry. And the Penguins tap it out of harm's way and out to center ice.
The second line just outstanding for the Wings. The second half of last year, another good strong shift by that line. Marco Kasper getting in there on the forecheck.
Ryan Shea delivers it out to center ice, and now it's Tomasino backhanding the puck into the Detroit end. Ian Mitchell, Red Wing defenseman, to Sandin Pellikka, quickly flying out to center. Front of the penalty box, Carter Mazur to fire that puck into the corner in the Pittsburgh zone. Puck dug off the boards by John Leonard. Sandin Pellikka throws it across. Long shot, Mazur off a stick into the corner. Going after the puck there is the defenseman Patilla. And now the Penguins head up ice. Kindle out at center ice. He's the lone goal scorer. Moving it down into the corner, now behind the Red Wing goal. Leonard in deep. Tapped it ahead to Mitchell. Out to center ice. Skates Mazer, and he's bothered by Kindle, and now chopping at it. The Red Wings will dump it. Finney does it behind the Pittsburgh goal.
Wrapping up forward lines tonight, top of 6 of forwards. Actually, 5 of those 6 are NHL veterans. Carter Bear getting a chance to play for Comfort and Bergman, but we've got 6 different rookies playing on the third and fourth lines. Those guys need to provide some energy here now in the second and third period.
Wings dump it down the ice. Behind the goal, Branson Nygaard took a chop at it. Dug loose by Shine. Throws it out in front of the goal, broken up. Now it's lifted by Dries, and behind the Pittsburgh goal, Graves to pick it up. The Penguin defenseman got it out to Heinen. Now quickly jumping up on the play is Poulin. Poulin got it up across the Red Wing line. Wings intercept Mo Sider out to center ice to Branson Nygaard to Dominic Shine, right wing. Stutter step moves, goes into the corner on Graves. Matt cans it to the side of the Pittsburgh goal. St. Ivany will scoop it up, lay it ahead. Heinen slows it down deep in the Pittsburgh zone. Rifles it out to center. Poulin over the line. Drop past St. Ivany. Moving in with a shot, and Gibson closes the door and makes the pad save.
And again, the Penguins a good job hanging on the puck. That time back deep in their own zone. No rush to Anton Heinen. Then a long stretch pass to the neutral zone. All of a sudden, the Wings were applying pressure in the offensive zone. Next thing you know, it's a 3-on-2 for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's a big save by John Gibson, just keeping it a 1-goal deficit.
St. Ivany with the shot after getting the feed from Poulin, and now we've got a whistle and a face-off coming up deep in the near circle in the Red Wing zone to the right of John Gibson. On the face-off, the Red Wings Gustafson laid it around the boards to Carter Bear. Off his stick, he dives to try and get it out, but it's held in. Now he steals the puck again and sends that puck out to center to Berggren. Over the Pittsburgh line, put on the brakes in the right circle, tied up by Shea, who dug it loose. Now it's Berggren again. He got a glove pass ahead to him by Hall, and Justin Hall is pleading his case with the linesman, not going to win it. He said he hit it with a stick, but the linesman said it was gloved ahead.
And Jonathan Berggren's an important preseason for him. He's been skating on the fourth line right now with JT Comfort, but he wants to stay with this Red Wing team. He's got to produce now these next couple of games. There's lots of guys battling for that same position.
One of our rulings this season and our plays under review, brought to you by 1-800-CALL-SAM.
It's real good, though. Previous game I saw, Jonathan Berggren, he and JT Comfort are out there again right now for the Wings.
Blackhawks lost to the Red Wings here in their first preseason game, but since that time they've won up here under Jeff Blashill.
Frank Nazer had 3 goals his last game with the Blackhawks, and yeah, Jeff Blashill's had that team feeling good about themselves, and they'll be much better than they were last year statistically.
Well, defensively, they've done pretty good. I think they've allowed less than 10 goals so far in 3 preseason games. Although the Red Wings outshot them by a 2-to-1 ratio in the game, but somehow they hung in there, the Chicago Blackhawks. Now icing is called as the Penguins shot at the length of the ice.
We talked briefly about the Anaheim Ducks in the Western Conference, and again, I think they will make the playoffs. Last year, they weren't that far out last year, but Mason McTavish signing, he held out all summer long to start the season. But he's back in there now, and like the Red Wings, they're one of the deeper teams in the National Hockey League. The Anaheim Ducks are much improved, and again, I never thought I'd see it. Jacob Trouba, Chris Kreider, a couple of franchise players for the New York Rangers, now play for the Anaheim Ducks. And again, they're a good offensive, defensive team, better in goal as well. Look for them to make the playoffs in the Western Conference.
What about their crosstown rivals from the LA Kings?
I think the Kings are going to be all right. Again, they missed a couple of guys. Hansi Kopitar's announced it'll be his retirement his last season in the NHL. What a player. He's been a two-way center iceman, but the Kings will be good again. They've got lots of depth back in that blue line. It's a team I think will still make the playoffs in the Western Conference, but definitely not as good as they once were.
The pass out in front, and they score off to the right side of the goal. That was Tommy Novak, who just drove it home after a good passing play in front of Gibson. It was a bang-bang play, and it's 2-0 Pittsburgh.
You know, Ken, I think it was a good play like you described, and a good 3-man rush by the Penguins, but I think they got a favorable bounce, and I think it bounces off the body. It didn't want to go there. Hollander actually hit it, and it came back over to Tommy Novak and just tapped it in. So John Gibson's going this way. The puck goes back the other way. Not much he could do. Favorable bounce for the Penguins. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh.
Tommy Novak gets the goal, and that's his first goal of the preseason. He has 1 assist, so 2 points in the first 4 preseason games for Tommy Novak, and a 2-0 lead.
You watch him play and you wonder why the Nashville Predators didn't hold on to him, and they've made some surprising moves the last couple of seasons, the Nashville Predators.
The look on Novak is that he's unable to stay healthy, and he's missed a lot of games last year. But dynamic when he's healthy. Here's a shot from long range from the blue line, taken by Wallinder and gloved off by Tristan Jarry. And now a little pushing and shoving, and in the mix is John Leonard of Detroit.
You know, I really can't think of a quality save for Tristan Jarry so far in the hockey game. Like, that wasn't really a dangerous chance. There's a shot from the left point, and it got through, but he saw it all the way, and just a routine stop for the veteran goaltender Jarry. So the Wings again going to start playing like a five-man unit in that offensive zone.
Only one power play in the game. It went to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Brinkett took the lone penalty in the opening period, tripping at 6:53. So we have yet to see the Red Wing power play. But again, the Red Wings need to stay in that offensive zone and create some chances here.
It's going to start out. You got to win the balance the puck. You got to protect that puck in the offensive zone. Your teammates got to start skating and getting open and give you opportunities to move it there. So lots of things got to work. It's that team play that definitely breaks down the opponent's defense.
The puck comes out to the center ice circle, and now it's intercepted again up across the line. Kovanen, pass in front, a one-time shot. Gibson on a bang play, made the save. Moving in right out in front to get the shot away. One of the Penguin players, but that one almost went in again, but a great save.
That was just perfect execution with the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's a saucer pass going from the left to the right. Flipped it past two Red Wing sticks. And John Gibson just diving sideways made that to save. That close to scoring the third goal of the game.
That saucer pass was from Billy Koivunen, and the man who took the shot was Avery Hayes from the right side of the goal. Big save by Gibson. Still 2-0 lead for the Penguins. Again, they've got the puck in the Red Wing zone. Kindle got it to the blue line. Graves holds it in, shoots that puck around the boards. Hayes spun around. Now Shine for Detroit to lift that puck around the boards. Ransig Nygaard moves it around the opposite way on the reverse for Gustafsson. He turned it over. Now out in front to the side of the goal with a quick snapshot is Robbie Fabry, but with his body against that far goal post, Gibson makes the save, and the Red Wings shoot it down the ice. And again, guilty of a turnover right there.
And again, just not one or two guys. It's just collective bad performance so far. The Red Wings just got to get it going here, but they're lucky just to be down a couple of goals. Not quite halfway through this second period of play.
5 minutes and 54 seconds gone by here in the second. 11 shots for Pittsburgh, 10 for Detroit. Robbie Fabry lost the faceoff. Wings control as Shine will backhand the puck. It's held in by the Penguins again. Hall knocked down from behind. Dries will play the puck out to center ice. Heinen tapping it ahead. And Sam Poulin to lift it softly into the corner in the Red Wing end. Fabry delivers a body check. Poulin in after it. Now Dries will pick it off. Skating behind his own goal. Hand it off to Gustafsson. And now the Wings will pop it ahead in front of the penalty box at center ice. Nine took a chop of the puck. Poulin digging away for it for Pittsburgh. Comes away with the puck. Moves it to the Red Wing blue line. Ransig Nygaard chopping it down into the corner in the Pittsburgh zone as the Red Wings change on the go.
Just a ferocious checking by the Pittsburgh Penguins all over the ice, just taking away the time and space of the Red Wings. They have no opportunity to make a play and turn it over again inside their own blue line.
And they got a dangerous scoring chance from the right side. A shot taken. Now in front, Robbie Fabry misses the near side of the goal.
They're just jumping right now, picking up all loose pucks, and the Wings now have got to start doing the exact same thing to the Penguins.
Patilla, who had a chance. Patilla from the corner centered it off the stick of Gibson. And now the Wings comper heads back over the blue line, cuts inside, shoots the puck, and that went off a leg of a Pittsburgh player wide of the goal. Here's Patilla picking it up in behind his own goal, watched by two Red Wings. Worked that puck up the right wing boards. Second effort, chipped it out to center ice, and now a penalty coming up as the Red Wing player was clipped with a high stick. I believe that was Ian Mitchell, and the referee checking for blood. Red Wings will go on the power play.
It could be a break the Wings are looking for, down a couple of goals, getting halfway through this second period of play. Another Pittsburgh Penguin heading to the penalty box.
So the Penguin penalty box door swings open, and we'll be back with the Red Wing power play in a moment. 12:42 to go, second period. Pittsburgh 2, Red Wings nothing. This is your home for Detroit Red Wings hockey.
All right, guys, who brought the boring, overpriced food to the tailgate? Little Caesars Dill Deer here. Try cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99 instead. With delicious sliced steak and onions, they'll still to show at every tailgate. Ho-ho! These taste legit! You should come to every tailgate, Dill Deer.
Oof, I'll be honest, I don't do tailgates. Too many headlights. For a limited time this NFL season, order cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99. Little Caesars is the real deal. Pizza. Plus tax where applicable. Available at participating locations for a limited time. Prices may vary. Prices higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and third-party online sites.
Hey, it's Ken Cal, voice of the Red Wings. There's a homegrown squad that's been around even longer than the Wings. Rose Pest Solutions turned pro over 160 years ago and has dominated pests ever since. Rose safeguards your home or business against pests like bedbugs, cockroaches, rodents, and spiders. Their technicians are also equipped to meet all safety regulations. That's why Rose is an official partner of the Detroit Red Wings. Pest problem? Rose is the solution. Call Rose at 800-966-ROSE or go to rosepestsolutions.com.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease. We battle cancer. We come together. We come back. We push forward. When the body breaks, we break through. Corewell Health. We can.
That is Gustafson, who lays it down along the boards, and the return feed back to Gustafson at the blue line. Pass into the slot. Here's Mazur shooting the puck, and that one's deflected wide of the goal off a stick in front of Jarry.
This is a quality chip for the Red Wings. Good work in the offensive zone. They still got it in deep, and a shot high above the crossbar.
The right point, Sandin Pellikka rolls that puck around the end boards, pinching down low. Gustafson throws it back blindly to the line, broken up by Poulin, and now intercepting Carter Bear. Waits for his teammates to get onside and shoots that puck around the boards, now to Bear grip.
Well, Bear made a good play to keep that puck inside that blue line. Definitely helped out the Red Wings. Another good job by Bear, battling hard, gets it back to Justin Hall.
Now around the right circle, Carter Bear to the line. Hall with a shot that changed direction, wide of the goal. Mitchell in deep. St. Ivany pins the puck along the boards with his stick. Now it's dug free and behind the goal by Graves. Rolls it to the right circle. Bear almost intercepted it. Now Heinen tapped it ahead. Jack St. Ivany out to center ice, starts the other way, pushes it into the corner. Now the Penguins will change on the go.
To a man, they almost seem like they believe an old adage in hockey. Which team has the puck after the last time you touch it? They always continually want to give that puck to a teammate, no matter where they are on the ice, and that makes them difficult to play against.
Penguins lead 2-0. Time winding down the second, 2:10 to go.
It's a good quality ship for the Wings, though, 5-on-5, and a little more pressure by Detroit. The Casper line right back out there, but a clean breakout here by Pittsburgh.
Shea moving that puck around the end boards and behind the Red Wing goal. Gibson backhands it to Sider. Sider's pass broken up. Right circle. Hayes dumping it back in behind the goal. Kindle with a centering attempt. Hayes swings in behind the goal. Brings it on his backhand to his forehand. Slides it right out in front of the goal. And the loose puck skipped away from Gibson into the corner.
That's Sider, good job of tying up Gibson's stick. Another shot on the point that was blocked before it got through.
Now the Wings on the attack. Up the right side, Kane will slowly move it down into the right corner in the Pittsburgh zone. Detroit's changing on the go. Minute and a half to go in the second period. Pittsburgh leading 2-0. Along the near side, Patilla to dump it into the corner. Sandin Pellikka of Sider up the right side for Dominic Shine. Shine backhands it over the Pittsburgh line, racing after Brandtseg Nygaard of Detroit. Now tapped ahead over on the right side. That's Coppin in to lay it ahead over the blue line, skates Amama. Dropping it to the right side of the ice, lifted around the end boards by Puustinen. Now slapped around the opposite way with a minute to go in the second period. Brandtseg Nygaard checked along the side boards. Red Wings Gustafson lugs it out to center ice through the Hockeytown logo, flips it end over end right corner in the Pittsburgh zone. Nobody there for Detroit as the Red Wings were changing on the go. Down to 45 seconds remaining in the second period. Penguins lead 2-0. Pittsburgh's offside. Now they tag up as the Wings will lift it ahead. Up the right side, John Leonard. Now the Wings are offside. They've got to tag up. Patella picks it up in behind his own goal. We'll set it up for the Pittsburgh Penguins with 25 seconds left in the second period.
He's content to stay back behind that goal and let those valuable seconds come off the clock.
Patella with a long stretch pass, and that's off the stick to Tommy Novak and into the Pittsburgh players bench out at center ice with 14.7 seconds to go in the period.
You think of all that time as standing back behind the net with the puck on your stick for a long time and no pressure. You come up with a better play than that, but actually it's more difficult to make a play like that when no one's really putting the pressure on you and you're standing it still, but no damage done. The face off at center ice and just 14.7 seconds left in this second period of play.
Hey, Paul, what does a forward do? Because you're out at center ice waiting for a pass. Now you got to skate back deeper into your own zone to set out there, prepare the breakout, don't you?
That's what you do. Got to get back in your own deep, and then you come out with speed. It's a quick, short pass from the defenseman to the forward. It's much easier to make that play. Those long bomb passes, people are standing back like that, they rarely ever work.
Well, they were jamming forward in front of the penalty box as the horn sounds, ending the second period. Penguins get another goal. from Tommy Novak. Comes early at 4:38, and after 40 minutes of play, Pittsburgh 2 and the Red Wings nothing.
And the Wings had a couple of spurts in that second period, led by the Casper line with DeBrincat and Patrick Kane. One of those shifts was on the power play, but just not much offense for the Red Wings. And really, the Red Wings not really making that Pittsburgh defense work hard back in their own zone. And Fort just be down a couple of goals. Tristan Jerry did make some good saves in that second period, but the Wings are going to be a whole lot better in this third period if they're going to come back and win this game tonight.
Not a lot of life out there from the Red Wings in this game.
But just the one line, too, and that's the other thing. And, I had the 7 young players on my line here, seeing which of those guys I thought would really produce tonight. Brent Nygaard, really not involved. Carter Mazur, not doing that much. Josh Leonard, first period, a couple good shifts. Not much since that time. Wallinder back there, he's played with Sider. He's been okay. Emmett Finney's probably he had a couple of good shifts the second period, but nothing stands out. And Sandin Pellikka, same thing. 1 or 2 shifts, one on the power play. I thought he was good, but the Wings got to get more from those guys. And again, they've got to send a message to the Red Wing management team and the coaching staff that they want to start the season with Detroit. They haven't done that through the first 40 minutes.
Shots on goal in the second period brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And the Pittsburgh Penguins with 9 shots on John Gibson get the goal from Tommy Novak. They have 15 throughout the course of the game thus far. Red Wings with 7 on Tristan Jarry, and they have 14 the Red Wings do after 40 minutes of play.
I've talked a lot about the team game, the Pittsburgh Penguins being really good. At this time of the preseason, it's almost impossible to do, so hats off to that coaching staff. What a job they've done so far, but how about Tristan Jarry? He's really played solid in that second period. I thought, again, when the Wings were much more dangerous, robbed Patrick Kane, that went off his mask, then hit the crossbar, but he's been their best player. And now just 20 minutes away, and the Pittsburgh Penguins now just 1 regulation loss. If we win tonight, that'll be 5 preseason games, so a much better start than people would have expected.
Well, Paul, we talked a little bit about the Pacific Division, but what about the Central Division? Do you like the Dallas Stars to win that division?
No, I got Winnipeg going right back in there, Ken. And again, I know Nicholas Ehlers still lost, but they got Jonathan Toews, so they had a problem in the second and third center iceman as well. But now Jonathan Toews, if he can be the number 2 in Pittsburgh, in Winnipeg behind Mark Scheifele, I've got them going at first, but you've got Dallas right there, second there, 108 points last year, 116 for Winnipeg. There'll be a little bit less. Colorado, 100 plus this season. Minnesota's a good team. Kirill Kaprizov's back there. St. Louis, a good team, 96 points. When you get down to 2 teams we talked about earlier, Utah and Seattle, I think 6 of those 8 teams in that Central Division, legitimate chance to make the playoffs.
I don't like Seattle to make the playoffs. I think this could be a transition year for them.
I don't know, boy. I tell you what, I think Lane Lamb is going to make a big difference. Jason Botterill is the general manager. They changed the management team as well. Watch out for Seattle.
All right, we're in the second intermission on this Monday night. Thanks for tuning in to Detroit Red Wings hockey. Our second period break is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage, helping more Americans own more of America. Your journey home starts at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket, own the dream. Red Wings trail 2-0, and they've got some work to do going into the third period. Standing by, Dustin Fiocco in our 1-800-CALL-SAM studios. Dustin up next. This is your home for Detroit Red Wings hockey.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
In hockey, every win is earned. And at home, the victories are just as real. With J.P. Weiser's whiskey in hand, every moment feels like a win. From midweek matchups to do-or-die Game 7s, Weiser's is there. From the first puck drop to the final buzzer, we're all in. Because it's not just about the team on the ice. Here, it's about us. And when we gather with J.P. Weiser's whiskey for game time, that's a W. J.P. Weiser's, the official Canadian whiskey of the Detroit Red Wings.
Life can get busy, and finding time for doctor's appointments, well, it's tough. That's why I'm glad McLaren is making it easier. Now I can book online, do a virtual visit, or even check into the ER from my phone. Better access means better care. And with more providers and shorter wait times, they're making it work for me. McLaren, your care, our commitment. Find the care you need at McLaren.org.
I'm Dan Campbell, head coach of the Detroit Lions. What if I told you there's a legal team whose winning record goes back over 50 years? What if this team had a roster of some of the best and brightest in their field? And what if I said that every time this team wins, you win too? I'm talking about Michigan's first family of law, Sam Bernstein Law. If you've been injured in an accident, calling Sam will be the best call you ever make. Get a winning team to fight for you. Get the Bernstein advantage. Call Sam.
Injured? 1-800-CALL-SAM.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Dustin Fiocco inside the 1-800-CALL-SAM studio. Make that 40 minutes in the books. It is now time for your second period scoring summary. Penguins entering the period up a goal in a 1-0 hockey game after Kindle's goal early in the first. And just like the first, it just takes less than 5 minutes for Pittsburgh to light up the scoreboard again in the second. This time you can thank good old-fashioned puck luck finding the back of the net.
Pass out in front, and they score off to the right side of the goal. That was Tommy Novak, who just drove it home after a good passing play in front of Gibson. It was a bang-bang play, and it's 2-0 Pittsburgh.
Novak getting the credit, the puck kind of just rolling in off of him, and it's really the case of right place at the right time to give them a 2-goal advantage. But you can also credit that because Pittsburgh has been doing those things all game long, creating chances, controlling the puck. Though Detroit had been leading the shot total for a good chunk of this game, the scoring chances has been absolutely dominated by the Pens. Detroit finally with some chances to generate some form of offense in the period with a pair of power play opportunities, but the man advantage does no good. Detroit remains blanked after 40 minutes. They trail 2-0. That is our second period score, but the Red Wings were leading 2-0 when these two teams played a few days ago. Pens came back to win it 3-2. We will see if the Red Wings have that same fortune. In the meantime, let's run through some second period numbers. Shots in favor this period for the Penguins, 9-7. That gives them a lead 15-14 in the shot category overall. Power plays, neither team scoring on the man advantage. 0-for-1 for the Penguins. A couple of chances in that second period for the Red Wings. They come up empty on both of them. Faceoffs in favor by 1 for the Red Wings, 19-18. They are more physical, however, by quite a bit, out-hitting the Penguins 24-14. And all those numbers do equate to a 2-0 score. And after that second batch of 20 minutes, the Penguins officially doubled their lead to that total. We've still got a third period to come your way, but before we get to that, Coach Todd McClellan, he talked with the media earlier today. We'll hear what he had to say about players and the most recent stretch of preseason games. We'll hear all of that next here on the Red Wings Radio Network.
Hey Red Wings fans, are you tired of spending all your money on gas? Then you need the free Upside app, the app that gives you real cash back whenever you get gas. And with the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. Now, instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, you can download the free app from Upside and start putting money back in your wallet with every gallon of gas you buy. That's right, get paid real cash when you fuel up and use that cash to score some sweet Red Wings gear or tickets to the game. Best of all, the cash back doesn't stop at gas. Upside also works at restaurants and select grocery stores too. Upside users have already made back over $800 million. So don't wait. Download the free Upside app today and start getting cash back on every gallon of gas. And as a bonus for all you Red Wings fans out there, use promo code RW when you sign up and get an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back with your first fill up. That's promo code RW. Remember, use promo code RW for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank of gas. The Detroit Red Wings and Upside, a winning combination on and off the ice.
Thanks for calling the McComb Group.
Hey, I'm looking for a 2-inch 4,500-pound F22 Y-Pack globe valve and a 2x1-inch F22 9,000-pound socket-reducing coupling.
Sure, no problem.
What you're hearing is not an alien encounter. It's called PVF, also known as pipe, valves, and fittings. And at the McComb Group, we speak it fluently. Call us at 833-PIPE-USA when you need an expert who speaks your language, or go to McCombGroup.com. The Macomb Group. We speak PVF, and we're built to say yes.
Hey, baseball fans, Mike Valena here. If you're looking for a great trip to plan, go do something fun, how about Vegas? The D.com, the D Las Vegas. It's your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Dustin Fiocco inside the 1-800-CALL SAM studio. Red Wings trailing the Penguins at LCA. It is a 2-0 hockey game. Detroit hoping to duplicate Pittsburgh's feat from Friday after coming back down by 2 goals. We will see how that pans out in the third period. But first, earlier today, Coach Todd McClellan, he spoke with the media, and he addressed a handful of topics, including the preseason play of Emmett Finney catching his eye.
Yes, and others, though. We're not just going to give individuals a job. Emmett's earned his keep thus far. There's others that are pushing too now, and then it's beginning to get weeded out. And when I say weeded out, it doesn't mean that the individuals that don't start here will never play here. They just need a little bit of time. They need some experience. So that's really important for those players eventually to understand. Emmett could be one of those guys. I don't know. We have to continue to play games, but there's still a group that we're looking at and trying to figure it out.
Another player fans are eager to see take action soon, Simon Edvinsson. We were asking him whether or not we'll be seeing him in action sooner or rather than later.
I hope so. We'll see how his practice went today. He was fully involved. It wasn't, a pregame skate, a lot of walkthrough, not a lot of action. I know they're working now. Obviously, I'm not out there to see it, but we'll get an update. He's getting close. Opening night, I don't see any reason why he isn't playing, and we'll make smart decisions with him this week as far as games go. He's not going to play tonight or tomorrow. We'll figure that out.
Well, what did you like and didn't like in Pittsburgh and Buffalo?
I thought Pittsburgh was a really ragged game. Not a lot of execution, not a lot of skill plays. Just beating the puck all over the place. It was both teams. I liked the fact that we got off to a good start. I didn't like the fact that we gave up a 2-goal lead. But it happens, and it gave us a lot of good video to teach from. Then coming into Buffalo, I thought they had a good lineup, tested some of our players, much more skill in the game, better execution all over the place. There we gave up goals in situations that we really haven't worked on, 2 face-off goals. So if we can clean some of that up as far as coverages go and whatnot, but we haven't even talked about it. I thought offensively in Buffalo we created, the Kane line was the line to Brinkat and Casper that did most of the creating. So that's a really good sign. The negative sign is where were the rest of them, because we're going to need some depth, creativity, and scoring. And so that's kind of a summary of those two.
With Van Riemsdyk, I don't know if there's an update, but whether there is or not, is there a point where he kind of needs to be here by to be able to go for the start of the year?
Well, he needs to be here as soon as he can be, but again, we're not on the phone saying, hey, drop what you're doing, because that's not what this is about. So can he be ready to play in game 1, even based on today? I don't know until he gets here. And then we got to get him caught up and we got to get him skating. So, he's going to be part of our team. It's just whether he can play right off the bat or not, but that's okay. We'll deal with it.
And that was head coach Todd McClellan speaking with the media earlier today. We'll see if his team can regroup as they trail 2-0 after 2 periods. That third and final period coming your way next, along with the check of your out-of-town scoreboard here on the Red Wings Radio Network.
If you're looking for a meaningful career with lots of room to grow, both professionally and personally, consider UWM. We're one of the largest companies in Michigan, big enough to offer impactful roles in a wide range of specialties. But you'll also find a community of fellow team members ready to welcome, train, and support you. So no matter what stage you're at in your career, you'll find your fit at UWM. Check out UWMcareers.com and apply today.
Dearborn brand products are a taste of tradition, supporting the Wings because nobody represents tradition better in sports. Hockey season and the holidays are the best with the torch glazed spiral ham. Available all over Metro Detroit and at our Dearborn and Roseville factory outlets. While there, pick up some of our famous kielbasa, smoked, fresh, and holiday. Visit DearbornBrand.com for locations near you. Find ham, sausage, hot dogs, and snacks. Heading north this fall? Don't forget about our extensive line of snack sticks and jerky. Start the hunt off on Target at DearbornBrand.com. Imagine a world where technology transforms the way we think about our environment. Welcome to Priority, where we're redefining the future of recycling and cleanliness with cutting-edge tech. Our innovative solutions are designed for those who demand smarter, more efficient ways to care for our planet. We're not just ahead of the curve, we're creating it. Ready to join the revolution? Visit PriorityWaste.com and see how we're setting the new standards in the industry. Priority, where technology meets sustainability.
You might have seen them, sheet signs popping up across Michigan. But here's the thing, we're not just another gas station or convenience store. We're family owned, been that way since 1952. And when we open our doors, we're bringing more than food and fuel. We're bringing jobs, clean, safe rest stops, a place for early risers, night owls, and everybody in between. From your morning coffee to your midnight cravings, we got you, all day, every day. Come through and say hi. We'll be here cranking out sandwiches and snacks like it's our job. Because, you know, it is. Sheets, now open, always here. Why the Sheets not?
Hey, baseball fans, Mike Valenti here. If you're looking for a great trip to plan, go do something fun, how about Vegas? The D.com, the D Las Vegas. It's your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Dustin Fiocco in the 1-800-CALL-SAM studio. It's a 2-0 hockey game at LCA. Red Wings trailing the Penguins. We'll have that third period in just a second, but right now let's take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. We do have one final in the books. The Panthers beat the Hurricanes in overtime, 4-3. Florida Panthers now 2-2 on the preseason. After two periods, Rangers leading the Islanders 2-1. Connor McCarthy with a 2-point night, assisting on each goal for the Rangers. And also after two, the Flyers up 2-1 on the Boston Bruins. It was a scoreless first period, but a 3-goal second period puts Philly up. Bruins hoping for a bounce-back season after finishing at the bottom of the Atlantic last year. Couple of games on the late slate for tonight. The Flames taking on the Kraken and the Sharks taking on the Ducks. That wraps up your preseason action for today. We still have a third period, though, at LCA as the Red Wings hope to duplicate what Pittsburgh did on Friday. They trail by 2 goals heading into the third right now. They're down 2-0. Ken Cal and Paul Woods will take you from here.
All right, Dustin, thanks a lot. Both the Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins have returned to the ice surface. Ben Kindle scoring in the fourth period, and Tommy Novak for the Penguins in the second. Penguins out shooting the Red Wings by 1 at this point after 40 minutes, 15-14. Before we go any further, let's pause. 10 seconds for station identification on the Detroit Red Wings radio.
The fastest game on ice.
Step on. Next Schmaltz, he's in. Schmaltz to step up. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Busy week of hockey for the Red Wings. They're off to Chicago tomorrow to take on the Blackhawks. They beat the Hawks 3-2 in the preseason opener here a week ago, and then it's off to Toronto for a game on Thursday against the Maple Leafs, and then the Red Wings will close up shop in the preseason with a game on Saturday night. And that'll be our next broadcast, 6:45. Hope you can tune in on Saturday as the Red Wings take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Wings attacking right to left. Paul Woods, they need a little more offense. The Red Wings do to get back into this game.
You know, Ken, it's going to be hard, too, again, for the Red Wings younger players, those 7 kids I was mentioning their names and stuff like that, but it's a lot of hockey they played over the last probably 10 days, so it wears them down. Again, the coaching staff, too, wants to see how players handle the pressure like that, but it's a difficult jump coming from the American Hockey League, Junior Hockey League, so sometimes it wears you down, but they'll get some rest and bounce back, but really not much offense or not much energy from those guys tonight.
Jack St. Ivany across the red line, shoots it into the far corner in the Red Wing zone. Tommy Novak, he is checked in along the boards. He scored the second goal of the hockey game for the Pittsburgh Penguins. In the second period, Red Wings dig it loose up the left wing board. Still inside their own zone, though. Comfort dug it loose. At the back of the referee, Mo Sider follows up the plate around the boards. Berggren tied up his man. That puck slides all the way down the ice Jari to set it up in behind his own goals. Both teams make a change on the go.
In the first 40 minutes, the only line that really could produce some time in the offensive zone was that second line centered by Marco Kasper.
Matt Dumba, veteran defenseman, stick handling with a puck in behind the Pittsburgh goal. Stretched that pass out the center off a stick. Gustafson lays it softly back across the Penguin blue line. Dumba stepped it out to center ice, rolls it to the Detroit blue line. Sandin Pellikka now to DeBrincat, chopped off the puck by Hayes. Puck rolls to the side of the Red Wing goal. Played into the corner by Gibson. Bounces into the right face-off circle in the Red Wing zone. Gustafson just plays it along the right wing. Nobody there for Detroit. It was a blind pass, and a clearing attempt by Gustafson goes the length of the ice, and icing is called against Detroit.
And those are the kind of players you got to stay away from. Again, that's just it's a pass to nobody. Again, you're just throwing the puck to an area, and again, you've got puck control. Hang on it to yourself and force the opposing player to try and take it away. And that's when you get those battles for the puck. If you win those battles, then you start to that gets your group playing together, and that's what the Wings have been guilty on for much of the night, just throwing the puck to an empty area.
Penguins in the Detroit zone lose the face-off. Sandin Pellikka marches in behind his own goal, lays it up the right side. And this one again travels into the corner now. Play is alive as Shea is checked in along the corner boards. Puck along the left wing. It's in the Pittsburgh end. Shea dumped it back in behind his own goal to Matt Dumba. Rolls it out to center ice, and that one skipped into the Red Wing players bench along the far side. So we want to tell you that tonight's third period is brought to you by Timber Tech Decking and Railing. #1 in premium decking. Order free samples today at timbertech.com.
I talked about the pressure for the younger players. The pressure's there for everybody, all the players, and again the management teams, the coaching staffs as well. They feel that pressure. And again, you're Kyle Dubas. What do? You want to make those moves right away and try and trade away your franchise of players, or you hang on to them to trade the deadline, then make that move? And I mean, you want to do it right away, quickly. You want to do it over time. Like, it's so many decisions to make, and it's a 24-hour business, and you got to keep on it every day.
I think what'll help the Pittsburgh Penguins, like any team, you get off to a good start, then that kind of buys some time, and if you can hang on to that quick start and get some points in the process, might help you.
Well, Crosby, I think maybe is going to finish his career here, but I'm not sure about the other guys. Letang's got a couple years left, but I don't know if they want to go another couple years to Chris Letang. And the same as Jenny Malkin. He's going to be unrestricted to free agent. Erica Carlson, I don't think they want to go another couple years in him. I'd rather see them make that move sooner than later. Crosby maybe is the only guy that stays here the entire time.
Poulin backhands the puck from inside his own zone up the right wing wall. Robbie Fabry, he has ridden off the puck there. Good defensive play by Hall.
I was sort of picturing Pittsburgh just being a team that has struggled to compete and not that good offensive. But watching these kids play here, I know it's only a couple of periods, it's a preseason game, but it's just their overall team game very strong.
Now Puustinen turns it up across the Red Wing line. Molinder will intercept for Detroit. He's chased down in the right corner by Boko Amama. Screen shot from the left side, trickles wide of the goal. A centering attempt off a stick comes to Brandon Nygaard, who throws it out to center. Jack St. Ivany works that puck right back into the corner in the Red Wing end.
And your description's part of the problem right there. Again, just throwing the puck to an area, not passing the puck to a teammate or taking it yourself and making a play.
The puck is played away from Puustinen by Sider, who picks it up, takes a hit from behind right there by Juna Koppanen.
Well, they are ferocious at forechecking right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Red Wings pick it up. Brandon Nygaard with a shot, and that one is way out of play as he fired the puck from the Pittsburgh blue line.
I'll tell you what, rarely you see teams playing with this kind of tenacity offensively and defensively, but the Pittsburgh Penguins have done it here in the first two periods and a couple of minutes here into the third.
I was in Pittsburgh on Friday night, and they kind of did the same thing, Paul. The Red Wings really had a hard time getting that puck out of their own zone.
Well, that's that team game, and that's what it is. It's more difficult to play against a team than playing against a couple of individuals.
Wings had a 2-0 lead in that game, but then saw it disappear, and then they had a late goal there in the third period to win it.
Still plenty of time left in this for Detroit. Sean Toll's about even, but definitely Pittsburgh's been the best team. 16:48 left, 2-0 lead for the Penguins. Wings control the face-off.
The Red Wings can score right here. They're right back into this hockey game. Lifted up the left wing wall, out to center ice. Penguins bring it back, up across the line, Tomasino, and now into the slot. Tomasino with a feed over on the left side, and Hollander hit the side of the goal, actually the outside of the left goal post.
And you can't move the puck better than that. What a great job of the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the rush coming down the ice, just kept that puck moving forward and just did miss taking a commanding 3-0 lead.
Hollander, who Tipped it off the outside of the left goal post. Puck moved out in front of Gibson.
Their passing skills are off the charts.
Whoa! Big head Dumba just bowled over the Red Wing player Berggren at the Detroit blue line.
It's not a smart play by Matt Dumba. Your team's playing well. It's a 2-0 lead, and that's the kind of play that can get the other team fired up.
Puck lifted down low into the right corner. Tommy Novak spins away from traffic, moves it back on the line, and shoveled over to the left side of the ice for Alexander Alexia.
If you're trailing by a couple of goals and want to do something like that, it's a pretty good idea.
Now look out. Here's Hayes with a feed over on the left side. A one-time shot by Kindle, and Gibson made the save.
Again, just outstanding puck movement, passing in the offensive zone, and here they come again. That shot blocked before it got through.
Koivunen with the shot that was blocked, and now Hayes let it go behind the goal. Kindle, who has a goal in the hockey game, wheels a backhand to the line. All Pittsburgh right now. Koivunen shoots the puck through traffic. Gibson got a piece of it and went wide of the goal. Pittsburgh winning all the battles right now as the player Kindle lost the puck, comes out to center ice. And now they work it right back over the line. Puustinen drops it back. And Kindle tossed it over to Jack St. Ivan. He rolls it to the far boards for Poulin. Poulin chased down as Wallinder scoops up the puck in the right corner. Now stolen by the Pens again. Here's a backhand try by Poulin, and that one's saved by Gibson. The Red Wings to the puck right now, and again they're on the attack as they bring it back across the Red Wing blue line. Poulin checked along the boards, comes out to center ice. St. Ivan, he throws it over to Graves, and he flips it in front of the Red Wing bench. Tapped into the Detroit zone by Pittsburgh. Both teams changing on the go. 2-0 Penguins with the lead. They've got goals in the first and second round. Shot by Leonard, got through. Jari the stick save. Shea worked it out to center ice. Here's Valerie Puustinen over the blue line. Swings it across on the right side for Matt Dumba. Sweeping into the corner, moved it around the board. Sider got there first to play it in behind the Red Wing goal. Finney turns away from traffic for Detroit. Turned it over though as he plays it off the stick of Amama. Now the Red Wings steal. A little bit quiet, 2-0 lead for Pittsburgh. Sider up the left wing boards. Franceg Nygaard over the Pittsburgh line, swings it over on the right side for Sandin Pellikka. Sidesteps the check in the slot, drives with a shot. Jari the saving on the rebound, swept wide of the goal. A little bit dangerous right there. Good scoring chance for the Red Wings as it's bounced up the left wing boards. Tomasino trying to dig it away from Dries. Franceg Nygaard dug it loose, got it to the line. Sandin Pellikka right side, turning with it. Pellikka again moves into the high slot, fired the shot through traffic off a leg into the left corner. Now it's wrapped off the boards by Alexia about the center ice, and the Red Wings trying to turn it on a little bit to get back into this game.
A lateral move by Sandin Pellikka in the offensive zone, just so difficult for the defensive players to stay with him. That's an outstanding shift by him. He's still out there now. Pittsburgh working hard down that right side there, make wholesale changes.
Ben Kindle has a goal in the game. He's really worked hard for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
They've got all kinds of guys working hard and really moving that puck well as a group.
Carter Bear tapped it deeper into the corner. St. Ivany was run into by Berggren. They both go down as it's lifted out the center, and coming back, JT Comfer. Comfer floats it in off the glass into the left corner. Berggren first man to the puck, but he turned it over to Kindle. Racing out the center, Koivunen. Now to Hayes up across the Red Wing line, working into the corner on Mitchell. Slides it out in front. Gibson swats it away. Hall on the rebound. Tied up in the corner by Ben Kindle again. Now Koivunen squirts it back in behind the goal. Hayes was covered. Berggren chopped it to the blue line, held in. Now turned over as Hall brings that puck out to the center ice circle. Angles in front of the penalty box to work it away from Dumba deeper into the corner in the Pittsburgh end. 11:55 to go, third period. Good up and down action right now. 2-0 lead for Pittsburgh. Wings attacking right to left. Bring it ahead. Sider to Wallinder, and he'll shoot the puck around the boards. Far corner in the Pittsburgh end. Shea, first man of the puck, got it to Dumba in the near corner. Didn't clear it out. Wallinder steals. DeBrincat couldn't find the handle of it. Dumba brings it out the center, rolls that puck over the line to Poulin, and that play is just offside over the Red Wing blue line.
It's a big gun break for the Red Wings. Nice little work through the neutral zone. He just couldn't handle that bouncing puck, put himself offside, took an odd man rush away from Pittsburgh, trying to add to the 2-0 lead.
Wings looking for a goal, and all their goals this season are DT Energy, light the lamp goals. Timeout, 11:30 to go, third period here in Detroit. Penguins lead the Red Wings 2-0. This is your home for Detroit Red Wings hockey.
The weather's about to take a turn for the worse. So turn to Wallside for this never-before offer. Half off every Wallside window plus 81 months no interest or an extra 18% off for cash. Get your new windows fast before the weather turns and save like never before. Half off every window plus 81 months no interest or an extra 18% off for cash. Call 1-800-521-7800 or go to wallside.com.
America's favorite place to watch sports is Stadium Swim, located at Circa Resort and Casino. Catch all the biggest games at a viewing experience built for sports fans. Chill in one of our 6 pools on 3 different levels for a perfect view of our massive screen. Located at Circa Resort and Casino in downtown Las Vegas on Fremont Street. Stadium Swim. Book your spot today at circalasvegas.com.
It's natural to have questions about what's next, from a diagnosis you never expected or a treatment plan that feels complicated and short on options. But you always have a choice. To believe your path forward should have clarity and confidence with access to pioneering therapies and the latest clinical trials. Cancer is everything we do, and we do it all right here in Michigan. At Carmanis, you can get a second opinion appointment within 7 days. Call us at 1-800-CARMANIS.
Well, the Red Wings coming on a little bit there in that last sequence, but it's still 2-0 Pittsburgh, 11:30 to go in the third period.
Well, they got their own issues, Ken, but I'll tell you one thing. A lot of it just goes to Pittsburgh. They're playing ones who really are playing at a high team level right now. Just outstanding watching them offensively and defensively. Amazing job of their coaching staff this early into the season with that kind of a roster.
Tilla got it out to the Red Wing blue line. Winding up now is Mazur. Off the skate of Leonard. Now chipped ahead. Tilla got it over the Red Wing line. Dropped pass to the trailer Fabry to the left side of the ice. Gibson knocked it away. A shot from long range by Poulin. Sandine Pellica snaps that puck into the Pittsburgh zone. Shea, rink-wide feed to Robbie Fabry over the blue line. Hands it off. Here's Heinen with a shot. Stick saved by Gibson. Rebound Mazur. Didn't clear it out. Well, that passing just not there right now as the puck is slowed down in the corner. Gustafsson on a change, rolls it in behind his own goal for William Willander. Up the left wing boards, out to center, the Wings on the breakout. Dominic Shine, stopped there, trying to penetrate the blue line by Jack St. Ivany. Tries to deflect the pass from Sider in behind the Pittsburgh goal. Graves sidesteps a check, referee gets out of the fray. Helping out now is Una Koppanen. Into the corner, lifted up the right wing boards. Red Wing steal. Linder, and now it's lifted down the ice by Amama back into the Detroit zone. Mo Sider scooping after the puck, moves it ahead. Molinder in front of his own net, back to Sider, up the right side, out to center. Flips it end over end to the front of the goal, taking no chances as Jari, he makes the glove hand save. And he'll hang on in the blue paint area of the goal crease. And got another timeout. Halfway through the third, 9:57 to go in regulation. Pittsburgh 2, Red Wings nothing. This is the Detroit Red Wings Radio Network.
Hockeytown. The action is always fast, hard-hitting, and unforgettable. And now you can raise your game day experience with carbless, handcrafted cocktails. Available right here at Little Caesars Arena, carbless is 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and only 100 calories. So you can keep the energy high from puck drop to the final horn. Whether it's a power play, a big save, or a game-winning goal, celebrate it with the clean, refreshing taste of carbless. Find your bliss tonight at the rink or anytime at drinkcarbless.com. Carbless, crafted for hockey nights in Detroit.
Right now at Jack Dimmer Ford, our lease offers are a steal. This month, Ford AZ customers can get a 36-month lease on the 2025 Escape Active AWD for $279 a month, with $2229 due at signing with no security deposit required. Includes $3,500 in open bonus cash and $1,500 in RCL cash. Hurry! Offer ends September 30th. Visit jdimmerford.com or discover the Dimmer difference at Jack Dimmer Ford on Michigan Avenue, a mile and a half east of I-275 in Wayne.
In every home, someone is always too cold or too warm.
What's the temperature in here? I'll just...
And then there's someone who's trying to save money.
Step away from the thermostat.
Well, DTE wants to help with both. Seal air leaks, add insulation, and change filters regularly to save up to $200 a year. And stay comfortable, too.
Ah, warm and cozy.
Get more tips at dteenergy.com/saveenergy. DTE.
Great to be back on the air with you. We got the A crew working today. Our producer Jenny Hoynatsky, engineer Tim Jutsky, host Dustin Fiocco as the Red Wings trail 2-0 halfway through the third. Face-off where the Red Wings want it, Paul, deep in that Pittsburgh zone.
John Gibson's probably from the Red Wings at best to perform. His shot total is pretty even. Wings control the face-off. Hoping to make something happen now.
Penalties called here in the third period. Only 3 penalties in the hockey game as the Wings have it at the blue line. Here's Mitchell with a shot block, rebound, Justin Hall. Checked by Philip Hollander along the far wing. Novak spears that puck in front of the Red Wing bench. Mitchell turned it over as Jack St. Ivany from the Hockey Town logo at center to dump it into the Detroit zone, and they're saying icing is the call as St. Ivany was on his side of the red line.
You know, I looked at some of the numbers again, teams' point totals they had last year, and I was really surprised. The Vancouver Canucks, I thought their season was much worse than this. They had 90 points on the season. Last year, they actually won that Pacific Division 2 years ago. So Vancouver really wasn't that bad. It wouldn't take a whole lot more now this season to get themselves in the playoffs. Vander Kane, they picked up the offseason from the Edmonton Oilers. I think he's really going to help, and they can help Elias Peterson. Teams won't be so physical on him. And you got the coaching change back behind the bench. Adam Foote, the former Avalanche defenseman, the new head coach of the Vancouver Canucks.
Patrick Kane, DeBrink, and Casper out there for the Red Wings right now, trying to get something going here. 2-0 lead for Pittsburgh, 9:15 to go in the third. Fans have not had a lot to cheer about here tonight. Scooping it up, Novak in behind his own goal. Didn't clear it out. Here's Casper along the right wing, dumping it to Kane. Now to Casper, shoots the puck off the crossbar. Casper almost connecting up high that time, and now out to center ice. Hollander is checked along the boards. Almost too many men on the ice for the Pittsburgh Penguins as Dumba will settle it down in his own end.
Powerful shot that time by Marco Kasper. Tristan Jerry beaten. Here comes a 2-1-1 for Pittsburgh.
Here's Kindle moving in, shoots the puck. Gibson, the pad save, and the Red Wings bring it ahead. Kane to Casper out the center. 3-on-2 over the line. Casper moving in, shoots the puck. That's deflected off the stick of Dumba and out of play.
Good defensive play by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Fast-breaking 3-on-2. Red Wings 3 best forwards tonight on that rush. And well played by the Pittsburgh defense. Blocking that shot by Marco Kasper, who rang one off the crossbar earlier in that same shift.
All of our plays under review this season brought to you by 1-800-CALL-SAM.
And then Marco Kasper just seems like he's beyond his years. It doesn't seem like a second-year player in the National Hockey League. It just seems like he fits in perfectly with Alex DeBrink and Patrick Kane. What a story that was last year for the Red Wings, and definitely should have picked up some votes for the Calder Trophy as the league's top rookie.
19 goals last year for Marco Kasper, finished +1 on the season as well.
And he started in the American Hockey League after about, 5-6 games, came up and joined the Red Wings. So.
Well, Penguins now racing after the puck. Ben Kindle in the corner. He's checked along the boards and now intercepting in the high slot. It's Finney to tap it out to center ice. Penguins settle it down. Matt Dumba along the right wing, skates in front of the penalty box, got it ahead. And Hayes to dump it in behind the Detroit goal. Carter Mazur with the possession of the puck up the right wing. Hayes chugging hard to catch up to him as it comes back out to center ice to Ian Mitchell. Brings it over to Justin Hall, not a Finney, on a change, dumping a backhand into the corner of the Pittsburgh zone. 7:40 to go, third period, a 2-0 Penguin lead. Kindle scoring in the first, Novak in the second. Heinen up across the line, put on the brakes. Brandsteg Nygaard intercepts, drops it back to Sheldon Dries. Now over the line to Ian Mitchell, and he'll dump it into the corner softly in the Pittsburgh end. Patilla trying to jam away at it. Sam Poulin spun around, the puck up the right wing and getting it out to center ice, the Penguins.
Well, it's nothing fancy with the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's a very basic, fundamental game. They win those battles down low.
Pass in the slot to Shine after the wing player stole the puck. That was Brandsteg Nygaard, but the Red Wings didn't get a shot on goal.
Pittsburgh defender got back and just deflected enough to get it away from the Red Wing forward. Took away an odd man rush down deep for Red Wings. Here they come quickly back on the attack.
Shine with a couple of moves to get away from traffic, and now we've got a penalty call coming up. High sticking. I think Shine's going to get the penalty right here. He got the stick up on the Penguin players. He tried to get around them.
He was a man on a mission in a forechecking situation. Down that right side, made a good play on the first Pittsburgh player, but again, they just keep coming in numbers. He jumped up a little bit. The second guy spun him around. That's a costly minor penalty with 6:53 left in regulation time.
Called it interference to Dominic Shine at 13:07.
And now the Red Wing penalty killers have definitely going to do the job. Could not afford to go down 3 goals now against Pittsburgh.
All right, Red Wing penalty kill coming up, brought to you by Corewell Health. No matter the challenge, their response is always the same. We can. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Good power play opportunity for the Penguins in the hockey game. Penalty kill, not that stellar so far in the preseason. Wings have allowed 5 power play goals against.
It's hard, though, Ken, to get into desperation mode here in the preseason. You don't want to start blocking shots and making plays like that in the preseason game. You want to save that for regular season. So it's a bit of an indicator, but again, I think they'll be much improved in that area this season. Mason Appleton's a very good penalty killer. Andrew Kopp fits that same description. Michael Rasmussen can definitely be a penalty killer for the Red Wings. JT Compher, there's a guy who can definitely excel in that area.
Penguins on the power play. Here's Tomasino up across the Detroit blue line. Flips that puck around the boards. Finney, first man to the puck penalty killing roll. Got it out to center, hustling after the puck. That's Marco Kasper. Rolls off his stick and attempts to tap it out of harm's way. Comes out to center. Kasper again just flips it to the side of Jari, the goaltender. Penguins changing on the power play. Minute 12 remaining in their man advantage. Down to 6 minutes to go in regulation. Wings need some work here. They trail 2-0 to the Penguins.
Just one game. When you watch them play, they just seem very confident about the way they do play, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And Kindle rolls the puck around the boards. Hayes dumping it in behind the net. Hall picks it up, hammers it off the right side glass, and that puck scoots all the way down the ice. Both teams with 18 shots on goal. Up the right side, skates Koivunen. Pass across was intended for Kindle, broken up. The Wings come back shorthanded. Carter Mazur with a feed in front and a good defensive play by Shea to stop it. Now the Wings steal down low. Mazur got the feed in front, broken up, and now they come back 3-on-2. Kindle tapped it over the line. And the Wings will intercept, lay it out to center ice.
Wings had a couple of chances there, but just couldn't execute in the offensive zone. A couple of chances to cut in that lead. Solid defense again by Pittsburgh. They're back inside their Red Wing blue line.
Near side boards. It's scooped up by Kopanen. He'll play it into the corner. Back to the blue line. Jack St. Ivy. Left side. Graves with a shot. On the doorstep, Kindle again. Well, we've called his name a lot. Kindle in the hockey game. Penalty is over. Out of the box is Shine. He skates over to the Red Wing bench. Time a factor right now. 4:45 to go in the third period. Pittsburgh leading by 2-0. Here comes Kasper over the line. Drop past to Kane. Moving in. Shoots the puck. Blocked right out in front of Tristan Jari. Rebound up the right wing wall. Penguins bring it ahead. Kopanen carries into the Red Wing zone, and Sider to deflect it out to center ice. Graves waits for his teammates to get onside. Now he'll roll that puck softly behind the Detroit net.
And more good work with the Kasper line. Easily the best line for Todd McClellan all night long. Time now becoming a factor. 4 minutes and change left in regulation.
Kane hopping on those skates. Lost the handle of it. Penguins now dump it in. Mitchell picking it up for Detroit. Crowd trying to get behind the Red Wings here with the faint "Let's Go Red Wings" chant. Wings need a couple to tie it up. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. 4 minutes to go in the game. Ransig Nygaard from center rolls it into the Pittsburgh zone. Hall tapping it across. Mitchell with a shot. Jari kicked it away with authority with the right goalie pass. Now Mitchell blocked it again. Turns away from traffic. Slides it out in front. Wide open. A shot. The Wings score! Dominic Shine out in front. Makes it a 1-goal game. 3:40 to go. On your hats. Pittsburgh 2 and the Red Wings 1.
He was a nervous player in that penalty box. His team killed off that 2-minute sentence, but he gets back on the ice and makes a beautiful play. But it all starts at Ian Mitchell back him out left to point. Great quality shift by him. Quietly goes about his business. Gets it down low. Perfect pass out to front. And Dominic Shine goes from his backhand to his forehand. It's a 2-1 lead now for Pittsburgh.
That goal is a DTE Energy, light the lamp goal, and certainly giving the Red Wings a little bit energy late in the hockey game. 3:40 to go, a one-goal game. It's Pittsburgh 2 and the Red Wings 1.
Classic example, today's NHL, 2-0 lead. Pittsburgh's been the best team all night long, but all of a sudden now just a one-goal deficit with 3:30 left in regulation time.
Finney, Carter, Bear out front for Detroit along with Berggren. Berggren from center, rifles it in behind the net. Jari forehands it up the wall. Held in at the line by Detroit, shoveled to the open side of the ice. Carter Bear turns, fires. That one handcuffed Jari, who made the save in a kneeling position in the goal crease. Well, Mitchell really was the man that kept that play alive in the offensive zone.
I've seen 2 games this year so far, and each time he's played, he's been outstanding back there and just quietly goes about his business. Good offensively and defense. Another guy that gives the Red Wings depth in that defensive position.
All right, we'll be back for the final 3:12 of regulation. Wings back into it. Pittsburgh 2 and the Red Wings 1. This is your home for Detroit Red Wings hockey.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. A Fanatics experience.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
All right, guys, who brought the boring, overpriced food to the tailgates?
Little Caesar's Dill Deer here. Try cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99 instead. With delicious sliced steak and onions, they'll still to show at every tailgate.
Oh, these taste legit! You should come to every tailgate, Deal Deer.
Oof, I'll be honest, I don't do tailgates. Too many headlights. For a limited time this NFL season, order cheesesteak crazy puffs for only $3.99. Little Caesar's is the real deal.
Pizza.
Plus tax where applicable. Available at participating locations for a limited time. Prices may vary. Prices higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and third-party online sites.
All of our critical face-offs and overtimes this year brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. We've got a critical face-off coming up. Circle to the right of Tristan Jari. Red Wings have pulled their goaltender. They've got the extra attacker on and trying to tie it up here with 3:08 to go. Wings win the face-off in the Pittsburgh zone. Up high, Seider. Rolls it down low to Kane. Back to Seider. Now to Pellica with a blast low to the ice, and that one wide of the goal. Rebound comes out to the Red Wing line. Snyder settles it down for Detroit on the attack. He's trying to tie it up here. 2:49 to go from center. It's shot in by Detroit. Hustling after that puck to Brinkett. Popped it back in the line to Seider. Broken up. Seider's trying to keep it alive, and now it's Pellica intercepting inside his own zone. The Pens shot it towards that empty net. Marco Kasper flying out the center will try for Detroit. In over the blue line. Played it off the boards. Goes after it in behind the goal. Now helping out is Comfer. Laying it back to the right point to Seider. Red Wings set it up high, down low into the left circle to Brinkett. Pass across for Kane, and that one skipped away from him over on the left side. It's lifted ahead, and now Avery Hayes to dump that puck the length of the ice. Icing called against the Pittsburgh Penguins with 2:10 to go.
And there's that play we talked about a lot last year. Pittsburgh that time. Hayes, as you mentioned, down the left side, probably about 6 feet away from that red line. Just chose to backhand it towards the empty net. He gets across center ice, takes a lot more time off the opponents, off the clock. So big break for the Red Wings. Marco Kasper right back out there for the draw.
Critical face-off brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. 2:10 to go. Face-off to the right of Jari. Wings win the draw. Sandin Pellica shoots the puck, blocked out in front. A lot of traffic in front of Jari. Rebound, swept and chopped out to center ice by Hayes.
JT Comfer getting a chance in now. The 6-on-5 advantage for his team. That'll build some more confidence for him.
Kane stick handles, moves it over the line. To Brinkett. Now to Shine in behind the goal and make that Kane. Kane picking it up for Detroit. Brings it back to the middle of the blue line. Hanging onto the puck. Now to Seider. His shot was deflected away in front by Koivunen.
Pittsburgh player lost his stick. Even a bigger advantage now for the Red Wings. Hopefully they can take advantage.
Down to a minute and a half to go. Here is Sandin Pellikka to Sider, turns, fires, blocked in front. Confer lays it into the corner. DeBrincat to Sider, to Kane, right face-off circle. Kane moving in. Pittsburgh backing in. Kane with the shot, and hit a body out in front. Kasper on the rebound behind the Pittsburgh goal. Moves it into the right circle, Wings dangerous. Sider, left circle feed. Pellikka back to Sider, back to Pellikka. Sandin Pellikka to Sider, playing catch with it up high. Now to Kane, top of the right circle. Minute to go. Wings need a goal to tie it. It's 2-0. Wings taking their time up high now. Here's Kane moving in. Left circle, lane shut down, pass to Sider, right circle feed, one-time shot taken by the player Kasper, and that's knocked away by Tristan Jarry.
Long, grueling shift for both teams. Both teams extremely tired now.
40 seconds to go. Wings dig it free, comes into the high slot. Pittsburgh player didn't have a stick, helps Detroit. Pellikka with a shot, blocked right out in front. The rebound, Kane, all Detroit right here. 30 seconds to go. Kane shoots. That's blocked in the high slot and cleared down the ice by Koivunen. And this will be an icing call against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
They're exhausted. They've been over the Pittsburgh Penguins. They had 4 guys with a stick, 1 guy without. What great defense. Shot blocking saves by Tristan Jarry. Quick line change for the Wings. The same 5 players must stay out there for Pittsburgh.
A little break for the Red Wings right there with a centering attempt. Penguin player had no stick.
21.6 seconds left in regulation. Wings got to control this face-off now.
All right, new legs for Detroit. Finney out there to take the face-off against Ben Kindle.
No.
Wings win the draw, but it got away from Sandin Pellikka, comes out to center. 17 seconds to go. Wings have to hurry. Now it's lifted out to center ice. Hayes picking it up, fans on it. Scramble play alongside. Now Berggren took a swing at it. It's still inside the zone. Cleared away. 4 seconds to go. Red Wings running out of time. Sandin Pellikka out at center ice. Flips it into the Pittsburgh zone. The Penguins hang on, and this game is over. So despite the Red Wings pulling out all the stops, getting that extra player out there, the Penguins hold on and defeat the Red Wings 2-1.
Just too little, too late for the Red Wings. Really strong last 5 minutes of regulation time. They came back, they scored a goal, just could not get the game tying a goal. Some big saves again by Tristan Jarry, but what solid defense by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and what a quality shift that was. That group of players was out there for probably a good minute.